get used to it. So anyway, this is where it all started.
Mamdani is set to release his fiscal year 2027 budget. The mayor's record-setting $124 billion plan expected to create a spending gap of more than $5 billion. And the mayor is now reportedly backtracking on that controversial plan to raise property taxes in the city by nearly 10%.
You mean to tell me if he increases the property taxes by 10%, he can't do that because literally all the rich people will leave and will have no money because communism cannot create anything, it can only destroy? Well, color me shocked and appalled. This won't go well for his entire strategy of let's literally import an underclass into society that we can fund through the money of the wealthy people.
The governor is coming in with a bailout to try to save him, forking over a whapping $4 billion.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder what her political interest is in doing that. Joining us now is Fox Business anchor David Asman and strategic.
Yeah, so essentially, this is insane. For those of you unaware, Mamdani is making it look like a colossal W that he's managing to balance the budget. Balance the budget means he took $4 billion from the state, from taxpayer funds of the state. Just absolutely humiliating everyone. You know,
hey, what's up?
And people are rebelling in the streets.
I wasn't planning on streaming today, but
and it's bad.
For those who have watched budget after budget,
I decided I'm kind of
engaging in the same dance as our predecessors. Let me assure you, nothing.
I got shit to do later on today, but I was gonna play video games anyways. Might as well stream.
There are two paths to bridge this gap. The first is the most sustainable and the fairest path.
All right.
This is the path of ending the drain on our city and raising taxes on the richest New Yorkers and the most profitable corporations.
Right, so that is not fair, actually. My understanding of fair and your understanding of fair are very different. Your understanding of fair is take money away from the hardworking people that earned their money and give it to the illiterate barbarian rapists that are being imported. That's how you define fair. I don't. That's step one. Option one, take money from the people that earn it and give it to the barbarians.
The onus for resolving this crisis should not be placed on the backs of working and middle-class New Yorkers.
Sure it should. The onus of the crisis should be New York should stop taking taxes from everybody and let people get jobs and figure shit out. Yup, that's how it should work. And if it doesn't work for you, you should leave. You should leave the country, actually. That's right. You should get deported if you're not a citizen. Yep.
If we do not fix this structural imbalance,
structural imbalance means we're going to import infinite retards, and they're going to be poor, and it's totally unfair that the retards we're importing from butt-fuck nowhere Somalia are poor.
New Yorkers to raise taxes on the wealthy. This crisis will not disappear. It will simply return.
Bro,
year after year.
This won't make the crisis disappear even if you do steal the money from the rich people. All right, you think that's going to help? Bro, the rich people are going to leave. And they already are.
Harder and harsher choices each time. Do not go down the first path.
No, I haven't.
The city will be forced down a second.
All right, so that's the first path. Take money from the people that earn it. All right. Uh-oh.
The city would have to exercise
I have thought about playing the Old Republic, though.
Uh-oh.
We would have to raise property tax.
Yeah.
It's like the World of Warcraft version of Star Wars games.
Option 1, we take money from the people that earn it and give it to the barbarians that don't. Option 2, we literally just take money from everybody. Oh my God! Lie with dogs, you get fleas.
And it's free to play.
Man. This is absolutely all right. So this is crazy. Zohran Mamdani released this like bullshit fake news ad. All right, where he's trying to make believe he took a massive W. Understand, this is how communism works. Communism works when a low IQ, inbred motherfucker decides to lie to 1 million retards and they believe him. This one tweet got 13 million views and 200,000 likes.
New York, it's executive budget season. And I'm proud to announce that our city's budget is fully balanced.
Because he got $4 billion from the state taxpayers. Understand, this was not a Mamdani W. This is, he just managed to get $4 billion from the state.
Hang on a second.
This budget isn't just about numbers on a page. It determines if our libraries get funded, if a street is safe to cross, if snow is actually shoveled.
The streets aren't safe to cross for a totally different reason, but you don't want to start talking about fatigue.
After a storm, and you deserve to know exactly how we got here.
Bro, there was literally a snowstorm and your guys didn't shovel the streets.
We inherited a $12 billion budget deficit.
We are speaking about a fiscal crisis at the scale greater than the Great Recession.
Was the Great Recession? Great Recession. Many said the only way out of this was slashing services and passing an austerity budget. We rejected that.
That's right. We just got a $4 billion payout from the state. In other words, from the taxpayers of the state. And basically, what he does this entire video is reframe this tremendous L that he took, that he needed this gigantic bailout from the state, as the W, that the budget is balanced now. Now understand, Hochul forks over another $4 billion to bail out Mamdani's New York City budget woes as she faces intense election pressure. Weird, huh? Now, Zoran Mamdani decides, hey, whoa, I am back. I am still here. Inflation is at a 3-year high. Everything costs more. Groceries, gas, healthcare, and a plane ticket. The math is simple. Every American dollar spent overseas on a war is a dollar that could have been spent at home. It's to pay for a dignified life. It's time we change the equation. This is such unbelievable horseshit, it's crazy. We basically spend the same amount on the military whether we go to war or we don't. That's one. Two, we spend way more on Social Security than we do on the military, by like a lot. Three, this guy had nothing to say about the illegal alien scams that have been going on everywhere. Nothing to say about the Somali scams and the Minnesota fraud and all the California fraud that's getting exposed right now, which we'll get to in a bit. It's almost like he's literally only running defense for Muslim countries that are trying to make nukes and kill us or something. But that's crazy. Now understand, and I think this is very important, that this is a teacher that's paid by our tax dollars, all right? Since everyone's so worried about where our tax dollars are going now, let's see what the teachers are doing that are getting paid by us.
It appears we have another deranged teacher hoping for President Trump to die following the recent assassination attempt. The video is sick. Watch it for yourself.
Fuck Donald Trump. Everything I'm seeing allegedly says that the big thing happened. That it happened. Can anybody confirm it for me? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, all right. Sorry about that.
Another video claiming the assassination attempt was fake.
All right.
Trump, God, I love that everybody knows that this is fake.
According to her Twitter profile, she teaches at Little Blue Elementary in Missouri.
Holy shit, she has a pedophile flag in her bio. Anyway, in many such cases. More Minnesota fraud. Mr. Abdi Wahidi Mohammed, the owner of Minnesota Grocery LLC, charged receiving over $1.1 million in SNAP benefits. Hey, Zoran Mamdani, this is money that could have gone to Americans to have very dignified lives. But I don't see this shit out. Mr. Abdi Wahid Mohammed does not sound like a straight-white Christian male. I'm just going to say that. Now, understand, this is what Brooklyn has become. This is what New York is now under Zoran Islami Mamdani.
Yeah, I'm only going to play probably till 11 o'clock noon. I got shit I got to do today.
Get ready.
I want to put shit together for my stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday stream.
Do your worst. I'm not afraid. Because even if this body is broken, the spirit inside of it, you cannot reach.
That's right. His spirit will go up one day, inshallah, and have sex with children for eternity after he blows himself up for Allah. What a guy! What a guy!
And it will continue, and Allah will replace you. Whether I see that or not is irrelevant.
Wow.
But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of the U.S. government. I'm not afraid of the United States Army. I'm not afraid of I'm not afraid of whatever they control.
Okay.
Not only am I not afraid, but it is my life mission to stand against all of the above.
It's his life's mission to stand against the United States government, army, and ICE. Why the fuck are these people in our country? Can you explain to me why this guy's in our country? It's his life's mission, by the way.
That every single iota of strength, wealth, and spirit that I have until I die will be spent fighting everything I just mentioned.
That's right. This dude is straight up right now. And he's an American, is stating, not fearing any consequences every moment of his life and every penny that he earns to fight the United States. This is treason, obviously. No one fucking cares because, hey, it's a Muslim. Muslim's treason, I guess. What do we do? What do we do?
Oh, goddamn.
And just understand, this is what's going on in New York right now. This was last night. Mass arrests after Islamists started terrorizing a synagogue and nearby police. This is complete insanity. Absolute and utter insanity. That we're having these, Muslims storming different communities every single fucking day, making believe they care about Palestinians, which they don't. And that, let's be real. They don't give a fuck about the Palestinians. They only wish the Palestinians were more successful at killing Jews. But unfortunately, they're retards. Average IQ in Gaza is 67 for a reason, and those motherfuckers got humbly humiliated. Very much. They started a war and lost. It's sad for every single casualty that died in a war that they started, but these motherfuckers are making believe they care about them. Anyway, it doesn't stop. So this is every single day in New York right now. All right, so here we got a Jewish kid on a bike, just going down the street on a bike, everything nice. He's going around this nice, cute family, and they just push him off the bike. This is just every day, by the way, in New York. Every single day. All right, don't get it twisted. This is a daily occurrence under Mamdani. All right, so every time these people scream about neo-Nazis, bro, it's the left and the Muslims that are brutalizing the Jews every single day. All right? What is this?
You still working for LaGuardia? Oh, shit!
This guy is a security guard at LaGuardia Airport.
You still working for LaGuardia Airport? I looked up your mom's ass. Come on, you still working for LaGuardia Airport? Yeah? Look at this nut job. Look.
I love how he first said yes. I love how he first said yes, and then realized, holy shit, my inbred ass just admitted.
I'm gonna get my bodyguard on you, motherfucker. Look at these guys are cucked. Look at these guys are cucked. He's Islamophobic. Guys are cucked.
He's Islamophobic. They say as they storm his neighborhood.
He's Islamophobic. Guys are cucked. Benzona. Guys are cucked. Benzona. Guys are cucked. Guys are cucked. Do something. Guys are cucked. Guys are cucked.
Yeah, bro out there openly calling for the death of the Jews and shit. You know, it's just classic. All right, this is a more Jewish neighborhood in Brooklyn. Forced to watch this shit every day. It's like, this is insane, bro. This is actually crazy. Palestinian activist Aber Kawas is currently running for the New York State Senate and got an endorsement from Zohran Mamdani. Well, let's see what America First policies she is going to be pushing and promoting.
And so, and finding that, the system of capitalism and racism and white supremacy, etc., have all,
what is it called?
Have all been used,
Big Bud.
Colonized lands, right, to take resources.
This is coming from a Muslim, the #1 colonizer people on the entire face of the planet. No one colonizes like Muslims do, because when Muslims do it, they claim victim. It's pretty insane if you think about it. It's pretty diabolical. They have this strat pinned down. They will try to conquer your country and shout about how they are going to oppose your government and overthrow your government and shit, and simultaneously make believe they're the victims of Islamophobia and white supremacy.
Through other people, and so this is like a long trajectory, and we're just seeing the manifestations of that continuation, right, with 9/11.
Oh, I have two different ones called that.
People are asking us to respond about, attack, right, when, if you look back, historically, right, a lot of us come from lands that were colonized, lands where wars are being...
She is literally justifying 9/11. She is running for state senate. When I say that, Hassan Piker, when he says America deserved 9/11, he means it, it's because they all do. They all mean it. Every single one of these Muslim-based retards, all right, that are running for government or in political positions, they all believe it and support it. All of them. I've yet to find one that doesn't. It's like, oh, no, 9/11, yeah, Muslims were killed in the Middle East, and we had to do it, what can I say?
Right, a lot of times because of U.S. policy or the policy
it's U.S. policy.
in Europe. And so I find that we can connect over that, but then also that the idea that we have to apologize for a terror attack that a couple people did, and then there is no apologies or reparations for genocide and for slavery, etc., is something that I kind of find
it's so weird that I'm not allowed to support terrorists when I'm not getting paid for when we commit terror attacks on you and stuff. So, Randy Fine, all right, decided to drop something relatively interesting. This was definitely something weird.
I'm Congressman Randy Fine, and I'm disgusted by the Muslim terror pogrom that we just saw in New York.
Okay, terror pogrom is extreme, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's been in the kitchen, as you can see.
City. Muslim terrorists went into a Jewish neighborhood to terrify everybody that they could. So I think there's three things we need to do. Number one, we need to deport every one of those people who's not an American. We need to get them the hell out of our country. Second, if you're a paperwork American who lied to become a citizen in the last 20 years, we need to revoke your citizenship and ship you to jail. And third, we need to stop letting people like this into our country.
God,
Stop
yes!
now.
Dude, people are trying to convince me that Randy Fine is actually not based. Listen, he may be fat, but like, this is the shit that I like to hear. Yes, we are going to round them up and deport them. Yes, that sounds ugly, but yes, it's gonna happen anyway. And yes, you can cry about it, and no, it will not change our minds. And yes, you will have to go. And yes, we don't care about dividing families, because yes, we will be sending the entire family. All right, we are very wholesome and inclusive. We are not dividing families. Your family's already in Haiti. We'll be sending you there soon.
I promise you this, I'll be fighting Muslim terror every day that I'm here in Congress.
God, bro has been cooking. What can I say? Anywho, of course, you have Mom Donnie tax the rich, and it worked. He just closed a $13 billion deficit in New York. I'm telling you, man, these people are like actually fucking retards. All right, they don't understand that getting a bailout for the state doesn't mean that he actually did anything good. Of course, account based in South Asia, which means Pakistan, by the way. South Asia is always Pakistan, all right, once you pay attention. Now, understand that we are needing to deal with this every single day in the United States of America. New details, ICE is confirming two thugs that shot a 17-year-old pregnant teen in Texas, murdering her unborn baby, are illegal aliens now charged with capital murder. Why the fuck are they in our country? Why the fuck do the Democrats insist on importing more of these complete and utter filth retards? It's disgusting. It's disgusting that there's a story like this almost every single day. And then you get Piers Morgan being like, well, white people also kill people sometimes too. But white people fucking live here. We don't need to import more killers. What even is this line of questioning or argument? Also, they do it a lot more. They're the capital of rape. We don't want to import people from the capital of rape. All right. Meanwhile, the Dominican Republic, all right, is now ramping up its mass deportations of Haitians. This is because Haitians are actually an inferior culture. Same island. Why the urgency? They deported 450,000 Haitians. Well, let's look into the stats. The Haiti homicide rate is 68 per 100K. The Dominican Republic homicide rate is 8.7 per 100K. Haiti's GDP is 3,000, and Dominican Republic GDP per capita is 30,000. Haiti's literacy rate is 61%, and Dominican Republic's literacy rate is 95%. Haiti's average IQ is 67. Dominican Republic average IQ is 82. So, we need to deport all the Haitians here. Meanwhile, in the United States, Dems are suing to let Haitian illegals stay forever. Understand they fucking hate us. Understand the objective reality that yes, it's an inferior culture. Yes, 67 IQ is absolutely an objective outcome from 1,400 years of inbreeding. It's not racist to say half of them can't read. Half of them literally can't read. And we wonder why it's shifting our culture. Bro, this isn't American culture. What the fuck is this? Security guy at an airport, bro? Are we serious? Like, what is this? This is an American culture. Well, I didn't grow up here. Well, what are we doing? This is insane. This is newly sprouted. Right, you got people out here literally calling to fight against the United States government in their mosques. Excuse me, what? We don't need to live like this. No one will convince me that it's normal or fine. And no one will convince me that it's racist. Right, so this officer is currently in major trouble. He just got fired in Oregon for racist private remarks that they caught on his body cam. Listen to the remarks and tell me how racist they are.
You got your jewelry, you have your nice clothes, but what do you do? What do you do to stand for your Somali and Latino communities?
Fuck the Somali and Latino communities. I'm about the American communities.
The goat, just objectively correct.
I'm about America, son. So, while you're trying to divide us further, I only care about the left-handed Somalis. You know what? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, so bro, objectively true. It's like, oh no, the Somali brothers and sisters that are raping our country and making our country objectively worse. No, please, not them. You know, and this dude's in trouble now. Now, Scott Bessent has been pushing this. If you're on public assistance, you can no longer wire money out of the country. This is fucking huge. I've been waiting for this for such a long time. Obviously, if you're from Somalia and you're not working here and you're getting taxpayer dollars, which shouldn't happen anyway, of course you shouldn't be able to send that money out of the country. Duh! It's just logic and common sense. Now, the funny thing is, I swear, there is a dipshit virus that is just raping half of our civilization right now. Right, so this is Pierre Poilievre. He's actually a relatively based guy. Right, he's relatively based. He's a Canadian guy. He lost the last election because he's not based enough. All right, so this is him. Why isn't housing affordable in Canada?
Let me ask you this. We have 10 times as much land per person than the next closest G7 country, and yet we have the fewest homes per capita.
Yeah, because the people are not very numerous, the terrain is relatively shitty in a lot of Canada, and migration. You imported infinite retards into your country. Now, in my opinion, by far, the funniest part of this video, I don't even need to get into all the details of him talking about how the left wing imported infinite retards. He's a right wing guy. My guy. I found the reason. I found out why housing is not affordable in Canada. Okay, I figured it out. I did some snooping and I figured it out, my guy. This is the reason. All right, now just in, Canada court blocks Alberta separatists' bid to force an independent vote over failure to consult Indigenous peoples. Oh my God! All right, so Alberta wants to leave Canada because Canada is gay as fuck. All right, it's gay Mexico, for real, for real. Slightly colder, a lot gayer Mexico. All right, and those guys, Alberta wants to separate because fuck those people. All right, it's a conservative state. They don't want to be completely ruled by transsexual Marxists. Okay, they're not interested in becoming a foothold of the Indian motherland. So they all come together that they're going to actually push this out, and they're going to try their best to actually separate. They get the numbers in. They're supposed to actually go to national vote. And Canada court blocked it because, well, they didn't ask enough Indigenous people, I guess. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Canada is so thoroughly, fundamentally mind-raped by the Indigenous people, it is insane. As someone that's lived in Canada for a couple of years, Canada is so woke, nothing's illegal on stolen land kind of shit. Anyway, Indigenous people, you can completely control us. This is bullshit. And also, this is not democracy. All right? They claim to be a democracy, unlike Trump, who's a fascist. Then it's like these people vote to separate. And then it's like, oh, you didn't ask Big Chief Brother Bear, who, as far as I'm concerned, does not have any stake in my country. But I guess Canada doesn't feel the same way about this. I am Indigenous, and therefore I don't need to follow Canadian law. Also, you can't follow Canadian law without my approval, because I am Indigenous. Actual joke country. Bro, y'all got conquered 500 years ago, okay? Sorry, it's over. Why are we still doing this? Why are we still doing this? Why must we placate all these people? You know, Rupert Lowe is fighting back in England with actual base, logic, and facts. Muslims electing Muslims exactly because they're Muslims. Then they can govern as Muslims. For Muslims. Demographic changes, birth rates, and mass immigration means this is going to accelerate rapidly. This is happening in New York right now. This has been happening in England for 10 years, and somehow people are so fucking retarded that they don't want to pay attention.
I need to worry about that later.
50 years, 20 years, 10 years.
Right now I don't have the money.
On our current projections, Britain has an Islamic future. That is just a fact. I don't like it. In fact, it terrifies me, but it's true. I do not want my grandchildren's children to grow up in Muslim Britain. Tower Hamlets, Rochdale, Birmingham, Luton, Blackburn, large parts of London. I could go on. Sectarian nightmare, deep divisions across community in parts of those towns. In others, it's completely united by Islam. That's our future. Unless we act, unless we organize, unless we vote, there is still time. Restore Britain is the only serious political party with the courage to stand up for a Christian Britain. We are the only political party with the courage to do what is necessary. Mass immigration from Islamic countries will end day one. Banning halal slaughter, cousin marriage, burqa, niqab, dominating Islamic prayer will be outlawed, along with any form of Sharia law. We will not tolerate the call to prayer being blared across our Britain towns. The colonization of our cities from foreign enclaves, practicing medieval practices, will end. The Islamification of Britain will be halted and reversed. That's what Restore Britain will do. If you agree, join us, join the party, attend your local meetings, volunteer, help us. This is insane.
Did I not buy him? God damn it.
Objectively true, and that's why people are mad. People are mad is because he's actually just saying something objectively true. It sounds pretty awful. It sounds pretty racist that you don't want your country to become an Islamic shithole, but that's only because you were primed and conditioned to think that something like that is racist. That's not racism, that's survival. And it's absolutely brutal to watch. Now, the craziest update in New York of the day has to be this. The New York Times published an article saying Iran's military is stronger than Trump claims, reports show. So New York, now that we have literally New York City, is run like some sort of Islamic caliphate where we're going to tax the rich people, I don't know, the whites, the Jews, and the Asians, and give all that shit to the absolute dumb fuck, retard, inbred losers being imported into our country. or refused to get a job, for some reason, the New York Times became straight-up jihadi propaganda. They're out here literally praising Iran's military. Dude, Iran's military was eviscerated. They tried to bomb our shit over the last couple of days, every single day, to mass humiliation and 0 successful strikes. We obliterated them. It's an objective fact. And if this wasn't true, we would know, because they've been trying so hard to break through our blockade, and they cannot. They haven't sunk a single one of our ships, thank God. But it means that they've been thoroughly defeated. This is crazy, and it doesn't stop. They just constantly spew this jihadi propaganda. This is the craziest thing I've ever read in my entire life. All right, so this is a reporter for the New York Times publishing a story from an anonymous Palestinian witness. In other words, they made it the fuck up. On one occasion, he said, he was held down, stripped naked, as if he was blindfolded and handcuffed. A dog was summoned with encouragement from a handler in Hebrew. He said the dog mounted him. They were using cameras to take photos. I heard their laughs and giggles, he said. He tried to dislodge the dog, he said, but it penetrated him. Yes, that's right, the Israeli government is using rape dogs to rape Palestinians. And if you believe that, you failed an IQ test. Oh my God, Palestinian prisoners, who we're not going to be naming, have also reported police dogs coached to rape prisoners. Bro, no one believes this, bro. You have to be like an actual sub-60 IQ fucking inbred retard to believe this. But it doesn't matter. If it's jihadi slop propaganda, they're just going to push it. It's insane. Now, for those of you that actually pay attention to Islamic retard propaganda like I do, it's one of my favorite things. We have to see what the inbreds are talking about. There is actually a massive history of Palestinians and other neighbors of Israel blaming Israel for weaponizing animals for a very long time. Hamas seizes Israeli spy dolphin off Gaza. I'm sure they did. Reports, Abbas accuses Israel of using wild boars against Palestinians. I'm sure they did. Palestinians accuse Israel of training spy cows. Yes, I'm sure they did. These are all real articles, by the way. Israel engineered special rats to attack Palestinians in Gaza. Fatah officials claim. I'm sure they do. Lebanon returns Israeli vulture cleared of spying. Shark attack not linked to Mossad, says Israel. Of course not. Turkey frees bird accused of spying for Israel. Israeli bird expert outraged after Hezbollah captures endangered eagle and claims espionage. When I say that you are falling for the propaganda from the dumbest fucking people on the planet, I actually mean it. Iranians arrest 14 squirrels for spying. Iran's ex-military chief Israel sent lizards to spy on nuclear program. These are all real articles, by the way, that came out over the years. All right, over the years. Israel sets hyenas on Palestinians. Like, bro, like, this is actually fucking crazy. And now we're doing Israel trains dogs to rape Palestinians. I'm not even exaggerating. These are all real articles. You could look each of them up individually. Like, this is published by the BBC. This is the British media talking about how Hamas is seizing Israeli spy dolphins. All right, like, this is crazy. But hey, it's jihadi slopaganda. Let's just publish it, I guess. Now, this is insane because they published that the same day that the actual United Nations and multiple investigators revealed an actual study that was taken on what actually went down on October 7th when this war started. Full depravity of Hamas' sexual brutality laid bare in damning new October 7th report. Even the Democrats are like confirmed rapists, cowards, vile deviants. Volumes of incontrovertible evidence of the depravity of Hamas. I saw pictures of this shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna show them to you. It was women getting raped and then murdered and then nails nailed into their genitals. And that is just one of the relatively less horrific things that they've done. It's an absolute travesty. Israel was definitely holding back when they decided not to obliterate Gaza completely. I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking insane. Anywho, the glowing New York Times also is now promoting Massey, right? Massey is a Trump backstabber, all right, and he is currently up for re-election. His primary is going on right now against Ed Galvain, who knows. It's pretty evenly split between the two of them, except Massey is a Trump backstabber. New York Times, he's one of a dying breed in Congress, and America needs him more than ever. He's a Republican. We have the New York Times running defense for a Republican because he backstabbed Trump. Understand where we are. And of course, Israel is planning on suing the New York Times over an article saying that Israeli soldiers are using dogs to rape Palestinians. Obviously, that's fucking retarded. Update on some actual good news to wrap this little segment up. Representative Andy Ogle from Tennessee, the fucking GOAT, excited to announce my 83-page Assimilation Act has been introduced. Months of labor undertaken by staff. We will end the H-1B scam, ensure migrants never become public charge based, and make America look.
I want to go see how much the bungalow costs.
Increases by 85% under this bill. Some some other things it does: national interest, stringent character tests, mandatory e-verify, ends chain migration, ends diversity lotteries, guts birthright citizenship, thank God, wake up for asylum standards based, stronger public charge rules, 10-year citizenship requirement that's massive, and American civics and English proficiency if you don't speak English.
I did not.
Okay, I don't see race. I don't see race. I'm not a racist like that. But I can fucking hear race, bro. If I get an Uber, I don't want to. ¿Cómo estás, señor? Señor, ¿cómo estás? I want him speaking goddamn American.
The state, Red Command could be seen responding to the raid by using drones, which reportedly dropped explosives on police. Various videos shows the complex as looking like a war zone, as explosions and rising black smoke scattered across the city skyline. In the aftermath,
Alright, I need like another, actually only like another $900.
Literally over the dead corpses of these people.
I bet you. Oh, Benji's got that.
These like weird fucking like,
bitch better have my money.
The upper middle class white liberal freaks in America need to realize is that the main victims of this are not, you know, like some other random person, right? It's the people that live in these communities. It's the people that are living in this house right here that are being oppressed. People that live in this house that are being oppressed. Like, this is really, they're the real victims out of all this.
Bodies could be seen lining the streets of the Peña favela.
Hell yeah. He had everything I needed. I could go on a literal spending spree. What do you got left? Oh, you ain't got much. Let me hook you up, G.
Their obligations under international.
Fucking retards. Fuck them. They don't know what they're talking about. The UN. Fuck them. Absolutely not. Human rights. What about everybody else's rights here too? Who's paying for the UN? Who's paying for these retards?
There you go.
Fuck the UN.
Human rights law and urge prompt and effective investigation.
Like, look at this limp dick shit. They say the same thing about El Salvador. I'm so sick of these, like, really, these, like, weird, abstract, completely no allegiance to any country,
shit, what day is it?
allegiance to any cause. These like international organizations that like to condemn
It's
any
Saturday.
country
I could
that
stick it
takes
out.
a drastic
I could stick it
action
out.
against crime
Let me
in
go.
the country to protect your people. Like why? Like yeah, it's just international parents. Fuck the UN.
The harrowing ordeal comes as the state of Rio prepares to host a major climate conference. To kick off the COP30 World
This is the problem, is like they get to say that because they're sitting in some fucking European country in some super safe area where, you know, like there's like 3 levels of security before you can get to them, and they don't understand that really, oh wow, 100 people got killed, 200 people got killed with this. Okay, well, how many people have been killed by the people that got killed? How many lives have been terrorized? How many areas have been, you know, fucking locked down by these psychos? You, the ICC got Duarte? Yeah. Let my boy go. Like, the thing is, like, yeah, he probably killed some people unintentionally, but there's a reason why they voted him back to May. There's a reason why they voted him in the beginning. How many lives have been saved? Yeah, these people have no idea. Like, they have no concept of any sort of, like, real morality. All they have is, like, feelings and vibes. There is no real morality in allowing an entire area like this to be terrorized by a, effectively, you know, like, terrorist organization gang. The human rights. Get the fuck out of here. What about people's right to live? People's right to live without being terrorized, without being attacked, without being bullied, without being, you know, intimidated, having their money stolen.
Summit
They
in
care
Brazil.
more about the rights of violent criminals than the rights of the actual citizens. I hate them. I hate them, bro.
Next week. The government has been known to conduct similar operations ahead of hosting major world events. In April of 2014, over 2,000 troops entered the favelas of Rio to conduct a series of, quote, pacification efforts ahead of the country's hosting of the FIFA World Cup. The state of Rio announced that following its raid on October 28th, over 80 criminals have been apprehended, along with over 400 pounds of drugs and dozens of firearms.
Man, absolutely, unfathomably, incredibly, amazingly fucking base. Wow, I didn't know anything about this. Yeah, this is insane.
UN is calling for a comprehensive reform of policing methods in Brazil after at least 132 people were killed in an unprecedented raid targeting a notorious drug gang in Rio. There were scenes of chaos as 2,500 heavily armed officers, backed by armored vehicles, helicopters and drones, entered two favelas to execute judicial warrants for suspected gang members. Residents who spent the night collecting bodies and laying them in a central square are accusing the police of carrying out a massacre.
They did. Thank God. It's about time. Holy shit. Yeah, duh. Good.
The very latest. Let's cross live now to our correspondent in Rio. Tim Vickery joins us now. Tim, police are being accused of using excessive force. Just how exactly did this death toll end up being so high? What happened?
Well, the governor of Rio...
Let me guess what happened. They tried to shoot back, run away, and fight the police, and they lost. That's what happened. That's the reason why the death toll was really high. Is because the police probably didn't come in there and shoot them before they talked to them. How do you think the police officers got killed?
Cultural right-wing government...
Yeah, they thought they lost. It's not excessive at all. So many innocents caught between the wars and gangs? Yeah, exactly.
And behind the operation, he and his staff are claiming that this...
I'm really sorry to tell you this, but they were applauding the criminals, not the police. The police did not collect the bodies, and the population and their families were grieving them. I hate that. So those people are praising the dead thieves. I don't know if that's true or not. I got no idea. Maybe it is. It doesn't matter. You still got to give them. Even if the population there doesn't like them, you still got to get rid of them.
It was a complete success.
Yep.
They had a strategy which they've been working on for a year, whereby they would force members of this drug gang to flee into the woods between two of the favelas. It's a traditional hiding place, but they set up an ambush there. Now, the official toll from the Brazilian government, now from the Rio authorities, is 121 dead, 4 of whom police. And the Rio authorities are saying that the other 117 were all members of this drug gang.
That's right.
That everything was done to limit collateral damage. So they are claiming success, and this will play well with many in Brazil. It's a society traumatized by the reality of urban crime, and many will think, well, the only good bandit is a dead bandit. On the other side of the line, you have 2 criticisms. One, was the objective of this operation to assassinate rather than to arrest?
Should have been.
Was excessive force used? And Brazil's Supreme Court will look into that. Another line of criticism will say, well, how effective is this really going to be?
They're dead. What do you mean, how effective is it? They're dead. What? You just look at them.
Rio's governor is claiming, and his security forces are claiming, that this is the most successful, it's the biggest blow ever to the drug gang, the Comando Vermelho, the Red...
All these women crying, these moms crying, sure, raise your kid better where he's not selling drugs, trying to shoot the fucking police. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. The emotional manipulation for this is crazy. It is crazy. You raise your kid to be a hood rat that turns into a gangbanger, selling drugs, shooting the police, and then your kid dies and you want to act about how the police is bad? No, you are bad. You raised a demon. You raised a demon and he got put down. That's what happened.
In the organization's history, But critics will say, all right, over 100 of them have been killed, 90 rifles have been apprehended along with drugs, and 113
90 rifles. Totally, totally innocent, right, guys?
arrests have been made. But the drug gang will have the resources to replace all of those rather quickly.
You're so insensitive, they're doing what they can to make a living? Of course I'm insensitive. Why would I allow people like this to control my emotions whenever I know that obviously a drug gang that uses guns and terrorizes people is bad? Like, we already know this is bad. I know that there are some people that commit crime and they feel like they have to commit crime. I understand that, but whenever you do it, it's still a problem. Like, I can understand it. But whenever you tell me that I'm insensitive, I could also say that you are also insensitive to the people that are victims of this behavior. It's always easy for you to think about the direct result because it's being portrayed by a media organization here. And this is France here. You've got to keep in mind, France is busy selling out their own country to migrants that go into their country and rape their own citizens, okay? So I wouldn't necessarily listen to anything out of France and be like, oh, okay, these are the real moral arbiters of the way the country should be run. Okay, number one. Number two, the other thing is that you don't think about the victims that get hurt by these individuals. You don't think about the families that are destroyed whenever these people kill other people. And so what you do is you look at these victims who, in a lot of cases, I think were probably gang members. They probably did have guns. How do you think 4 police officers randomly died? Right? There you go. If France 24 has left this media, yeah, it's bullshit. And so you tell me that I don't have empathy or sympathy, or I'm not like, I'm not thinking about it. I'm being insensitive. I'm actually the only one that is sensitive because I can see the greater good in the bigger picture. Where these people are painting a lie in order to co-opt your emotions to make you side with drug dealer murderers, the reality is that these people are terrorists. They terrorize their own community. They terrorize surrounding communities. And to the extent that they can, they'll terrorize the whole world. That's what they do. So, no, I'm not insensitive. I'm the only one that is sensitive. I'm the only one that doesn't let my emotions get the best of me whenever I see somebody crying. Oh, wow, somebody's crying. Who cares? What about the people that are deeply in the hope for redemption? I don't care about redemption. Why would I give a fuck about that? Like, do you think that I'm thinking about their best interests? Who gives a fuck about what their best interests are?
What do you mean, my best interest? How do you know what my best interest is?
Then it would be better to help them. But who gives a fuck? Were they thinking of anybody else's redemption whenever they killed them? Were they thinking about other people's redemption when they sold them drugs that were probably laced with worse drugs that could have killed them? No. You have to stop letting yourself pick the side of evil. That's what you're doing. You're letting your emotions allow you to side with evil.
How much damage has really been done? And the problem, surely, far, far bigger. This is not so much a problem of public security. It's a problem of sovereignty, with the drug gang being able to take effective command of a number of areas in Rio and increasingly throughout Brazil as well, especially in these favela areas. Now, getting rid of this drug gang, who gave an impressive display of force with their reprisals yesterday, effectively...
You really get... I don't even think it's impressive, honestly. Like, I mean, if you played an FPS match, and it's first 1 to 100, and they score 4 and you score 100, would you say that they did impressive? I would say they got flopped. Like, this was a blowout. They got steamrolled.
Shutting the city down. Getting rid of this drug gang will require much more than military-style police operations. So there
What
are
the fuck's going on, man? How did our society raise a bunch of flower sniffers who think evil doesn't exist? The reason why is because they've never been confronted with it and they've never had to deal with it. The reason why a lot of people believe in redemption for criminals is because they don't have to be the recipients of the potential lack of redemption. So these people have no problem talking about, oh, well, I care about, rehabilitating people, etc. But they never have to be the victims of that rehabilitation process should it go badly. So that's the reason why you have so much of this empathy for criminals. It's because a lot of the people that have the empathy never have to actually have accountability for it. There's never any accountability for their empathy. They never have to be the one that has to, house an illegal alien that has, a criminal record in their house. It's easy to humanize criminals when they're not victims or in any way relate personally. Yeah, exactly. Like they don't know what it does to these people. It's sympathy, not empathy. So you believe that all criminals are just inherently bad people, should be locked away forever? I think that if you're working in you're in a drug gang and you have the police raid you and you get shot, I think this is a Rip Bozo situation. You shouldn't have been there. You shouldn't have put yourself in that situation. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you were getting into, and that's what happened. That's it. You put words in your mouth? Yeah, just go back perm ban him. Yeah, I didn't even say that.
criticisms here on there are those who see this as a huge success, and there are criticisms that this isn't particularly effective, that we're dealing with organized crime. It's far more effective to get a handle on the finances rather than kill the foot soldiers.
You can't get a handle on the finances. They're doing everything through crypto. They're doing it through international banks. It's harder to do. And also, who's going to use the finances? People are going to use the finances, right? So if you kill the person that has the account, well, then nobody can use the fucking account. And you kill enough people with the accounts, then there's no more accounts. It's pretty easy to deal with. It's stupid. Like, what do you mean? You go after the finances. Going after the finances is only going to make these people oppress their own communities even harder.
And Tim, how has the Brazilian president been reacting to all of that? We've heard that he's horrified by the death toll, saying as well that the police in Rio launched this operation without notifying the federal government.
Yeah, based, because federal government could be compromised. You realize that some of the gangs get their members are often lured in with the promise of legit work, only to be held at gunpoint to join a gang that they were not aware of? Yeah, it sucks. I guess we should just let them go out and kill people and sell drugs and terrorize the community then. I understand that from your perspective it might seem unfair or scary, but there are a lot of choices and things like this in life where there isn't really a good choice. There isn't a choice that has like no negative side effects. It's just that's not the way the world works. People are these are people that, it's like you have the trolley problem. These are people who are too afraid to pull the lever because they don't want to kill one person, and they end up killing 100, but they tell themselves that because they didn't pull the lever, they're a good person. That's what it is.
Yes, he has said that. At the time of the operation, he was flying back from Malaysia. So he took knowledge of this early this morning, and he is perturbed by the death toll. Lula, always a consensualist, an attempt to build consensus. So he had emergency meetings with some of his ministers today, and he has sent a committee, including his justice minister.
And you can see all the clips. Are any of the clips of the actual people that were the killers? Did it show any of the drugs they had or the guns they had? Did it have the firefight at all? Did it show the drone footage dropping firebombs on the police officers? No. All they're showing is a bunch of crying women. That's it. Because they're trying to manipulate your emotions and make you act against your best interest. Because this, just like a lot of other types of media, is not out for your best interest. It has some sort of weird global agenda that they don't give a fuck about the best interest of Brazilian citizens or French citizens. They give a fuck about pushing their agenda. That's it. And you see how they replay the same crying women over and over and over. Complete manipulation.
To Rio to meet with the governor, Claudio Castro, who's a political
opponent,
And at the moment, they are working hard to try and present a united front, to try and say all levels of the government need to be together in the fight against organised crime.
They do need.
Tim, thanks so much for all of that. That's Tim Vickery, our correspondent in Rio.
Yeah, what a joke. What a fucking joke, bro. Like, I just... When criminal gangs get caught, they turn into whiny babies. Congratulations to Brazil's police. Poverty is an excuse to do crime. Zero tolerance, good job. There are criminals denying human rights to others. Their own human rights got denied. I have no... Bro, based YouTube comments. Bro, see, YouTube is one of the only platforms that's, like, not really censored at all. And so, like, you actually have people that give their... Everybody in the comments is totally on favor with this. Yeah, like, they're totally fucking on board with this. I'm so happy to see this. It's amazing, isn't it? So, yeah, YouTube comments going in. Yeah, and this is just the common sense, right? And it is. You're making a difference. I will, and I'll keep doing it until all of this misplaced empathy is put in a box where it deserves, right? Put it in a box, put it in the closet, put it away, and forget about it. Because the amount of people right here, look at this here. This is somebody, thank you to civil police and military police. I hope these actions multiply throughout the country, Brazil. And this is obviously just some guy, I think this is Portuguese, I'm not really sure. Could be Spanish, I can't really tell the difference, to be honest. But yeah, you have actual citizens there that are saying that. YouTube's a good baseline on what normies think. Well, any platform that isn't biased is a good baseline. Platforms that are, that isn't censored. So like Reddit, you can never listen to what people say on Reddit and try to get a fair shake on that, because any conservative viewpoints are banned. So like you can't ever do that. You can't do it on TikTok either, because also TikTok is massively, what is this here? May there be no shortage of ammunition. Amen. Oh man, there's r/conservative? Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. And there used to be 50 other conservative subreddits. They all also got banned. And yeah, there it is. And this needs to be widespread in every nation. Yeah, El Salvador was the blueprint. El Salvador was the blueprint, and it was one of the worst criminals of all. Brazil is not his. It belongs to Brazilian people. Yeah, bro. I'm so glad to see YouTube comments calling this shit out, bro. Doing something that creates no value.
That's a good thing, and this industry needs more of it. Because the reality is the parts of this industry that this article feels are being threatened, the corporate monoliths like Activision, EA, Ubisoft,
Caitlin Clark. And
I'm a fan.
Angel Reese, right? They're going back and forth. And Jamil Hill says by the time Angel Reese is done, she's going to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
She said about Angel Reese?
She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires, she will be the MJ.
Stephen A. Smith just hit the brakes on Angel Reese's ego trip so hard it's left skid marks. And trust me, this is no glitzy Netflix special with a scripted fall from grace. Angel pulled a move that had the internet collectively gasping. Wait, really? If you thought the drama on the hardwood peaked with buzzer beaters, buckle up. Stephen A. didn't just drop a mic, he lit it on fire. The big question, what did Angel do now? Brace yourself.
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in
I don't know who any of these people are.
Taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin.
I am doing okay, man. I am doing okay.
To the Final Four.
I guess the best I could do.
At that particular moment in time, and Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did, it would have never gotten to this point.
4 points. Yep, that's it. Angel Reese managed a whopping 4 points, as if she was on a scoring diet while sitting atop a throne of rebounds. Even with Caitlin Clark iced on the bench like she's posing for a sports drink ad, half wrapped in ice, the other half wrapped in hope, Angel couldn't seize the moment. She had the ball, the spotlight, the chance to shine, and still managed a stat line that screams underwhelming. If you can't wait for Reese's next blooper, then comment "Fire the baby giraffe" down below. Let's go.
First of all, it's not a rivalry. Not when you lose about 35 points.
That's true.
Not rivalry. Indiana Fever's on a different level than Chicago Sky. Let's get that out of the way. Secondly, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. We just have to own it.
Look, this performance was less "I'll show them" and more "oops, I forgot where the hoop was."
Both of them are sleeping right now. We were up kind of early.
Angel's contribution was so
Crazy got crazy.
Polite apology card. 4 points. That's not a that's a cry for help from someone.
Buddy always sleeps. The big orange blob.
Most fans were excited to see Caitlin
Oh, there! I just woke him up. Give him a little pet.
The game was a blowout as the Fever beat down Chicago 93-50.
But yeah, we were up early.
But the biggest headline coming out of the game on Saturday is the
I was moving my computer into the other room yesterday. I got up early today to do some cleaning from that project yesterday.
And yes, she treats them like currency. Like each
I decided once I got done, I was going to play some video games. I'm going to stream for a little while. And I'm going to say probably about 11 or noon. I'm going to go get some lunch and go spend some time with my niece. And then I'm going to come back and I want to start setting up. I've got my birthday stream tomorrow, so I want to start setting up for that. No, I have not got a new cat house. I just moved it into a different room. I am going to order a new cat house, though. I'm probably going to do that tomorrow during my birthday stream.
I gotta say, this is my favorite summer sitcom. Pecan, butter pecan, bang! Stat, she's been blocked 20 times, and she's only made 21 hoops. What? Bang!
You know it's a rough night when even the broadcast crew tries damage control. Well, she contributed elsewhere. Elsewhere how? With a cameo in a reality show, maybe? She spent the evening running laps in sneakers that haven't seen the rim since college. The camera even caught her in a glaze, like she was mentally applying for a spin-off series. The Real Stat Hoarders of WNBA, where the stats don't matter so long as you look fierce.
Because I was calling it from day one. You got people that are resentful towards her. But it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happen to be black females.
Yeah, tomorrow is my birthday, so I'll be doing an all-day stream.
And they never got this kind of shine.
And look, Angel once strutted in with swag.
I don't know, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I won't use my avatar tomorrow. I don't know yet. I still got a lot to put together with that.
NCAA archives. This isn't the long-expected Bayou Barbie takeover. It's turning into the Desperate Housewives of the WNBA. And Angel's pouring over a lonely glass of Pinot, asking, "Where's everyone gone?" Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, despite being double-teamed, elbowed, and iced, still puts up points, dishes assists, and hits threes like she's playing in her
I'm leaving it as
gym.
Girl Scout dick.
She doesn't just show up.
I mean, that's...
She shows out. Angel had the perfect setup. No Caitlin,
that's
full
just...
attention, the mic handed to her, and still flopped.
Fucking masterpiece right there.
In just a second. But before I do that, I want to ask you your thoughts about apparently some racial animus that was thrown in the direction of Angel Reese. The Chicago Sky have gotten involved, talking about they're going to protect their players at all costs. The NWNBA has issued a statement saying that it abhors and discourages hate of any kind, etc., etc. Your thoughts about it? Here's the WNBA statement. The WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in society. We are aware of the allegations and are looking into the matter. Your thoughts about that element of all of this, where you believe it emanates from, and do you think
it's going all right. I'm just upgrading a little.
Sure, 12 board scream hustle.
I could afford to buy the bungalow, but instead of, I didn't want to waste money on the laundering yet, because I want to get the bungalow, because there's going to be upgrades after that. I'm going to get into the mess before I actually start laundering money. Because most of the money to build the business is under the table.
I think when you go back to the impetus of the rivalry that we have between Caitlyn
So
and
I gotta.
and Reese, I remember funny clips on the internet.
Another diabolical stat. She's 19 of 59 from less than 5 feet away. How about that?
So I want to keep. I want to get everything I can going before I start laundering money. I'm exploiting the $10,000 a week, basically. And
prefer car or plane?
oh shit, I could put it in now.
For what? For how you want to travel. That's too many steps, and you can't do that.
Now the whispers are getting louder. Yep, the same whispers that claim Angel compared herself to Michael Jordan. This isn't a high school pep rally. If you're not scoring, you're not playing. And right now, Angel's contribution might be her sideline runway looks or keeping seats warm. Not exactly MVP behavior. If she sees her minutes shrinking, she might want to check with the stylist before the stats coach.
I have yet to see a single example of Angel Reese being a leader. Outside of rebounding her own missed layups, what does Angel Reese do? What is her contribution? You tell me, because I'm not seeing it. I know I'm harsh on Angel Reese, but she considers herself a star. If you're gonna call yourself a star, I expect you to perform like a star, especially in big moments. Caitlin Clark was injured. Angel Reese was the only star on the court last night. And for 27 minutes,
finish these up.
She completely disappeared.
This was supposed to be her breakout year. The moment she proves she's more than just an attitude with highlight clips. Instead, she's turned into the WNBA's version of a viral TikTok trend. Big hype, quick drop-off, and now she's the punchline in highlight reels. Remember the milk crate challenge? That's Angel's season. Started high, took a shaky step, and now we're all watching her fall. Just not fast enough for the rest of us.
Caitlin Clark's or Angel Reese's popularity in large part is attributed to her behavior towards Caitlin Clark. Because when Caitlin Clark was busy taunting opponents a couple of years back before LSU smacked Iowa around in the national championship game or so, it was Angel Reese that was clapping back at Caitlin Clark once it was Caitlin Clark's turn to have her come up. And that's what made Angel Reese famous. Now, Angel Reese, experienced vitriol thereafter. It was tough for her to deal with, as she articulated.
And don't get it twisted. People were genuinely rooting for Angel Reese to succeed. She came into the league as a headline-generating machine, a walking storyline, the rival to Caitlin Clark, the drama, the flair, the Bayou Barbie spectacle the WNBA could market for months. She had it all, the charisma, the college stardom, the viral moments. But all that glitter means nothing when you're putting up numbers that wouldn't scare a junior varsity.
I'm doing that right now.
4 points isn't just underwhelming. It's becoming symbolic. Unless she's out here performing some kind of postmodern sports.
I gotta wait for these final few mixes.
Cutting it. And now, fans are waking up. They're logging on, watching the games, and going, wait, that's it? Twitter was on fire. Not with admiration, but confusion. Again,
I'm not sure about the natural light in this room.
Like a beast, sure, but offensively, she's been missing like a left AirPod. Even her diehard fans are trying to rewrite the narrative, posting threads like, "We need to talk about how Angel Reese is actually good. You just don't understand basketball." Karen, please. She's struggling like a flip phone in 2025.
Well, there's a lot of reaction coming in from last night's drubbing, destruction, annihilation, cremation, whatever you want to call it, roasting, saute, whatever your form of cooking may be. But the Indiana Fever absolutely dismantled the Chicago Sky.
And what makes this so glaring is that Caitlin Clark, yes, the girl sitting out injured, is still dominating the league's conversation without even playing. That's when it starts getting really uncomfortable. Caitlin's on the bench, probably with an ankle wrapped up, sipping electrolytes and casually watching, while Angel is out there looking at her own position. And now, still feels like the bigger presence on the court. How do you lose the spotlight to someone not even in uniform? And then the rumors start swirling. Front office whispers. Is she getting benched? Will they rest her for development? That's basketball code for, we can't say this publicly, but yikes. It's not just a slump, it's a reckoning. The Sky didn't draft a TikTok star. They wanted a franchise pillar. Instead, they're getting a rebound machine with a scoring allergy.
This is only women that get this. I'm tired of it. Like, here's the thing, you guys. What else? Who? All these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark. Are you just combing through Twitter? What else are these women supposed to do? Fawn over her? Fangirl over her? Bend the fucking knee? Kiss the ring? Like, what do you want from them? We cannot every time the girl plays a game. She got 40 games, guys. She got 35 more games. We are not every single game gonna revisit and retread this same tired ass rhetoric that all these girls are hating on her, and they need to be thankful they have been.
Let's be honest. Teams want killers on the court. Not just players with great lashes and motivational Instagram bios. If you're going to flex on social media, at least follow it up with something beyond 4 to 12 shooting and vibes. Even Stephen A. Smith probably sat back, cleaned his glasses, stared at that box score, and hollered to the heavens, 4 points? This young lady better understand, this isn't LSU anymore. Because she's not wrong. The WNBA is not a charity. They don't hand out all-star ballots for high-effort cardio. You don't get minutes for memories. And right now, Angel's box scores look like someone misprinted them.
What an outfit Angel Reese was rocking. She put a lot of time, a lot of effort into making sure her ensemble was on point. Are my boots matching my jacket? Are my gloves matching my hat? Angel Reese put in tons of time for this outfit, which begs the question, does Angel Reese put in more time in her outfits for the pre-game catwalk, or does she put in more time to actually get better at the game?
And the tension is rising. Every minute Angel spends on that court without production adds to the scrutiny. This isn't the NCAA. This is the big leagues. You're expected to earn every second. You think coaches in the WNBA are going to give you 30 minutes just for personality? Please. The minute your efficiency drops, so does your playing time. If you're not scoring, assisting, or defending with impact, you're just taking up space on the court. Angel isn't just playing basketball anymore. She's fighting to stay relevant in a league that will move on from hype faster than a Twitter trend.
The Goose comes along, and she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting. 4th in the league, her rookie year. Wow. Outstanding. She's like Steph Curry. She can pull up from anywhere. You understand? She has that kind of capability. Didn't win a national championship. Lost to LSU one year. We lost to South Carolina another year. But she's outstanding and clearly worthy of being the #1 overall pick. And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all boats.
So now the stakes have changed. This isn't about potential anymore. This is about performance. Either she bounces back fast, or we're looking at an ESPN documentary 10 years from now called Angel Reese, The Hype That Never Hit, featuring dramatic piano, slow-motion turnovers, and a narrator whispering, "What happened?" And now we need to talk about Tyler Marsh, the man charged with the impossible task of unlocking Angel Reese like she's a hidden NBA 2K character. He's tried everything: power forward, small ball 5, weird pseudo-wing assignments. At this point, Marsh is probably drawing plays in hieroglyphics trying to get her to score. But here's the problem. It doesn't matter where you put her if she can't convert. It's like rearranging furniture in a haunted house and wondering why the ghosts are still there. Marsh could stick her under the basket or at half court. If she's putting up 4 points, none of it works. Chicago, we have a problem.
She balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing. Ended up as an all-star, ended up being 4th in the league in MVP voting, was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year. No competition whatsoever in that regard when it was really all said and done. We know what she brings to the table.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is on the injury list and still managing to be the WNBA's centerpiece. She could be in a walking boot, shooting from a chair, and still run circles around Angel in both stats and storylines. On her worst day, Clark finds ways to impact the game. She dishes assists, sinks threes, draws defenders like a magnet. Even off the court, she's the storyline. You think when she's healthy again, she's going to ease back gently? No way. She's coming back locked in. Meanwhile, Angel's stat line still reads like she's playing dodgeball, not basketball. You can't even deny it anymore. Watch the crowd reaction. Ball goes to Angel, and it's not excitement. It's the groan of a fan base bracing for disappointment. It's like watching someone try to remember their password in front of 10,000 people. And the coaching decisions? Moving her around like a game of musical chairs? That's not a system. That's a desperate search for a spark that isn't there.
Actually feel bad for Angel Reese at this point, and it has nothing to do with like how she's handled herself or anything. It's just simply Caitlin Clark is so much better than Angel Reese at basketball that it doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, I think Angel Reese is struggling with the fact that Caitlin Clark is better at her best thing than she is.
Well, she's better at everything.
And
Get a triple double. She's tied for the third most triple doubles in WNBA history, and she's played 50 games.
Let's just call it Angel's not delivering, not developing, not adjusting. Her impact is all rebounds and little else. And it's only getting harder to justify the minutes when there are younger, hungrier players ready to prove themselves. Because Caitlin Clark isn't coming back to be solid. She's coming back to remind everyone she's the face of the league. And when she starts dropping 20 a night again, Angel's 4-point ghost games are going to look even rougher. The league needs players who elevate the game, not just elevate their brand. And if Angel doesn't find her offensive rhythm soon, she won't just be trailing behind, she'll be forgotten. All the preseason hype, the NIL deals, the media buzz, it fades quickly when the box score doesn't back it up. And right now, the numbers aren't lying.
Unfortunately, it comes with the crowd.
I gotta push back on you a little bit.
Okay.
I think you're being a little bit too PC. Let's call it what it is. I am not trying to say that she should be criticized or she is wrong. What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong with it. Now, yes, you are 22. Yes, you are young. And there's a lot of things that we didn't want people to know about when we were her age. Fair enough, especially me, okay? Because I'm 30 plus years removed from that age. I got that part. There was no social media then or whatever. But here's my point to you. She knows there's social media. She is not dumb.
Even within the team, the vibe has to be tense. Imagine working your tail off for 10 minutes off the bench while Angel jogs around for 30, contributing little more than hustle. That's the kind of thing that kills morale. And for the front office, this has to be an existential crisis. You built a brand around her, and now the product is flopping. She's not returning value. She's putting up G League energy in a primetime spot. And the fans, they were sold the idea of a generational rivalry. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, Iowa versus Baton Rouge, college royalty clash reborn in the pros. What did they get instead? Caitlin putting up highlight plays with a sprained ankle and Angel sprinting around the court like a Peloton instructor doing a low-impact ride. You promised them fireworks, and you delivered a sparkler in the rain.
Jackie Robinson of the WNBA will be Caitlin Clark. If she stays healthy, there's a group of them that would hope for her to be out. But
why do you say she's going to be the Jackie Robinson of the WNBA?
Well,
It's not like she's the first white girl.
She's not the first white girl, but she's the first white superstar at the levels where she's scoring these, you know, the threes she's shooting. She's like a Steph Curry. She's the first actual superstar that people care. When's the last time we watched like college basketball? If I told you, tell me the greatest college basketball female basketball players last 30 years, and you watch, I know her. She's our meet. When you look at some of these names, you see some of these people on how they do.
If this trend continues, it's not going to be funny anymore. It'll be sad. A what could have been. Clark thriving while Reese fades. A perfect lesson in why branding only gets you so far. Production is what lasts. So yeah, it's time to face the truth. If the Sky want to win, they need to stop hoping for magic. Angel Reese, right now, is not the player they hoped for. Until she starts putting up real numbers, she's not the answer. She's a liability. She's a warning label. And if something doesn't change fast, she won't just be losing games, she'll be losing her spot in the league. Because the WNBA doesn't wait for you to get it together. Either you contribute, or you're gone. Simple as that. If you can't wait for Reese's next blooper, then comment "Fire the baby giraffe" down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.
To understand the depths of depravity of our enemy, which is an enemy. Don't make it. Don't be confused. Exactly what's going on here. This is an enemy that needs to be destroyed, legally and without violence, of course, but destroyed nonetheless. Reddit Lies account tweets, a mass psychosis event is unfolding on Reddit right now. Basically, every comment on Reddit about the incident is claiming it was staged. Obviously referring to the failed assassination attempt against Donald Trump last night. Entire Reddit comes together to say it's staged. Now, just to understand exactly how...
Is YouTube falling off, man?
A huge update in Ethan Klein.
I don't care about it, but I might as well listen.
I see not Ethan Klein has, well, he's expressed to iDubbbz that in Canada, defamation laws work different. Anti-slap protections work very different, and public figures are not able to be blatantly slandered in Canada as they are here in the U.S., which is very frustrating for obviously someone like myself. Ethan Klein has said he's going to sue iDubbbz into the ground. However, he will let him out of this lawsuit if he allows Anissa to take a power tool and shove it up Ian's asshole. And yeah, we got a little bit of an update on what's going on with the power drilling, which I'm pretty sure Anissa has already been doing, but now he just wants proof of it. So let's see what's going on here.
Maybe he's actually developing as a character. But I was the only one that knew. No, it happened like one day after we sent them a cease and desist. They stopped talking about us.
Good.
Bruh. Right, so I know why they stopped. And I know we have a really good case in Canada, and their lawyer told them that, right? And so, essentially, that's what it is. But,
in case you guys aren't familiar, if you're wondering why people are so comfortable calling, like, Nuxtaku a pedophile, or calling Asmongold like a mother killer, or for calling me like a rapist, the reason why they're so comfortable in doing that is because in America, you can essentially slander and discredit content creators with almost no repercussion 99.9% of the time. It's frustrating, but it falls underneath free speech, which I think is bullshit. But in Canada, they don't have those same protections. And Ian lives in Canada. So, the slander that he does to content creators like me or Ethan Klein is going to be infinitely harder to get away with, because in Canada, you will get fucked up, and Ethan knows that, and Ethan has a lot of money, and Ian is broke as shit. So hopefully Ethan can punish him to the fullest extent of the law.
so Ian and Anissa reacted to my response to them, which was basically just saying that I said cease and desist. I haven't sued them or anything. But here's his response, and I found it quite amusing, so I thought I would watch it.
And I think it was out of line from my own personal, I guess, goals in life and like how I want to be.
Right.
And I think ultimately, even after my apology, he still doesn't seem to think that it's real or genuine.
Yeah. Why? Yeah, you're right, man. I should take it as the way it was meant to be. Just completely sincere.
I'm actually...
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. Anybody who says that Ethan Klein was molesting his own children and didn't apologize for 2 years, this guy can take his apology and shove it up ass, along with the power tool that Anissa will have to legally require, shove up Ian's ass as well. Absolutely not. You do not go after someone's kids, though.
Like, if he, unironically, if he had issued this type of apology, like, I don't know, months ago, I would have thought it was sincere.
Absolutely.
Like right after you get a cease and desist, how can I? Like,
bullshit.
I'm not even being this to be like snarky. I'm being like, how am I actually supposed to think it's sincere?
Absolutely, 100%.
If I thought it was sincere, I would like, you know, I would have my heart would soften. You know, I'm the first person to let a grudge go when I'm apologized. All you have to say is I'm funny, right, Dan? You know that.
He's not actually joking about that. That is true.
I'm so quick to forgive.
He's quick to anger, but quick to forgive.
To a fault, I would say even. And I'm not even being like...
I'm the same way. I forgive way too easily. It's really bad, actually. It's such a problem.
Hyperbolic. You rolled out this scorched legume for the express purpose of browsing snark.
Which is a shame that he tied that branding to this, because now he can't continue the character, and it was so funny.
I miss Scorched Lagoon. Also, the Ethan jury's getting old and annoying. He's toying with these idiots. He just ended careers already. Don't fuck with kids. Well, here's the thing. These things take time. Like generally, defamation suits, slander suits, they take so fucking long. I promise you, if there was a way to get justice quicker, Ethan Klein would do that. But unfortunately, our judicial systems move incredibly slow.
That is just such a shame.
You know, it is. And I mean, these are your people, right? There's like a chatter of this like secret Discord of like crazy Twitter, Reddit, political snarkers, like these high-level reply guys. It's all starting to come out.
The high-level reply guy.
Well, you know, like the Jake Chinatowns and all these characters.
Yeah.
The bad empanadas, and you know, all these regular shitbags who say the worst possible things, and then they're retweeted by Hassan like once or twice a month to feed the machine.
Yeah, it's weird. I found out that there was another snark Discord on me like 2 days ago. I had no idea. They're like convinced that I have like an alt account and I'm like, you know, harassing people, and it's like, brother, I've already shown multiple times. Like, I just like don't do that. So it's like, okay, so I have like a Twitter account in like 2011 that I used to like do giveaways because I was broke. But that's like it. And so these people are like convinced that I'm out here harassing people, so they're doxing me for justice for some reason. And it's like, I mean, these people are nuts. And I mean, it is what it is. And I'd rather them go after me than somebody else. I'll take some more of that aggro, but I see that Ethan Klein's dealing with the same thing. It's awful because these people, the truth isn't enough to make these people to like look like, you know, make people like me look bad. So they have to make things up and do these drastic fucking digs, because the more they dig, the more they realize, wow, Teggy actually never did anything wrong. We're all falling for the same propaganda. It's embarrassing, to be honest.
So somebody has somehow got this entire log over the past year and a half. And I haven't seen the messages, but I have seen the name and logo for this snark community.
Also, the skull with the CPS engraved on there, in case you guys don't know this, the reason why it's a skull emoji with CPS engraved into its skull is because people like iDubbbz and Denims and Michael Pierre and Hassan enabled these snarkers to go after Ethan Klein, and they sent them 2 human skulls to Ethan Klein's house to represent them killing his kids, and CPS in regards to them trying to get CPS called to take Ethan Klein's kids away from them. Yes, those are the people that they're dealing with. And the fact that these people are being powered by people like Hassan and company is absolutely disgusting.
And I mean,
by the way, Hassan frequently signal boosts people who do this, and he's still allowed to have a platform.
Like a badge of honor,
over internet
right?
beef.
That CPS came to my house, that human skulls were sent to my house, 2 of them. And I mean, these are the groups of people you've spent the last year aligning.
Yep.
Right? And, you know, listen.
Oh, dude. Why didn't you say something?
It's hard for me to feel bad. It is.
Yeah, you should have.
It is.
You should have felt that.
Take a vow of celibacy and go to a monastery.
Ethan, never have mercy for people who were trying to kill you. And I need to take my own advice. Ethan, these people were trying to take everything from you. So why should you show them any mercy, any sympathy? They f***ed around, they need to find out. Punish them to the fullest extent of the law.
Sir, I don't know what to tell you, bro. There's no peace to be had here.
There's none.
You sacrificed that peace to the altar of clout, made that content cough about me.
Facts.
I don't want to be that guy, though. You know, and
Alright.
but ultimately, when you do what you did, when you put out that video when I was live, when you encouraged and applauded the CPS visits, you justified, spent time with the community that took joy and pride in it. I mean,
I don't really know what to say. I don't know any kinder way to say this. But if I were to ever have kids and people were to come after my kids over internet beef, I don't think there could be a force in the world that could prevent me from beating the living shit out of you. I don't think there's a force in this world that could ever prevent someone from stopping me from ruining your fucking life forever. There is no way you go after children and expect sympathy at all. That's a line you cannot cross. And to applaud fake CPS calls where the kids had to be pulled out from class and asked, does daddy make you uncomfortable? It's disgusting behavior. And the fact that people are still interacting with IDEF, someone who's applauded behavior,
Did that dude just turn yellow?
is absolutely disgusting to me. And the only reason why they do it is the same reason why they always do it. Clout and a means to get ahead. It's disgusting. No mercy, no sympathy, and you must punish them to the fullest extent of the law.
I have to. It's just a matter of principle, right? But you're lucky because today I am truly sending you off like a pirate. It's almost like a funeral pyre down the river of Glendondale. I don't know if that sounds Lord of the Rings. Like a Gondor.
The Anduin.
A Gondorian send-off. I don't want to sue you, right? I don't want to do all this shit, but at the end of the day, I have made a commitment. And I am the ultimate hater. I look bad, and I'm okay with that. Because for me, it's personal, and that's it. That's all it is, you know, and it has been since that moment.
You don't look bad at all. I don't know how you convinced yourself that you look bad when a guy was signal boosting people going after your children. You don't look good. You don't look bad at all. Anything else? I wish you were to open a GoFundMe. That way I could donate directly to you in order to help you right the wrongs that all of these, and I'm going to use this word very specific, evil people have done to you. But it is awful to see what they have done to what I consider a very good man. And they can't get away with it. They must not be allowed to get away with it.
And I hope that when you guys have children that you're never put in a position that upsets you as much as that upset me. I don't wish that on anyone, right? Never. I wish it never happened to me either. But it did. And I know the people that participated in it. Maybe they make the call. They participated in the community that applauded it, shouted them out, said they're great people.
You cannot encourage the schizos to do something that deeply personal, that crosses a line you must never cross. You cannot do that. And Denham's is what I consider a major conduit to this. When claiming like Ethan Klein's children were in danger because they contracted Giardia, a very common thing for kids to get because kids put random objects in their mouth all the fucking time, and to encourage disgusting behavior like calling CPS on a man's family, to insinuate that they're going to kill their kids. How would anybody see Ethan Klein as the bad guy here? I always hear people saying how awful Ethan is, and I never see anybody explain why besides he's a Jew, which to your point, sure. But other than that, I've never seen anything unexemplary come from this guy's behavior. I've never seen it. You know, Vape Nation, that's pretty much it.
Right? Justified it in the videos. I know who those people are. And to me, that's unacceptable. And it's personal. And I'm just following through on my promises.
Good. And I hope you continue to do so. And I hope that he finds justice. And I hope that his man's family can move on from that with some peace in mind, knowing that these people will never bother him again. I hope so. These people need to suffer the consequences of their actions. They do. And right now, we just wait for it to happen.
About how they were referring to their trans child, by the way. They were referring to them as both Michael and Lexi. And in the comments of people that actually knew her child, were referring to her child as Michael. And she was shit on in the comments for referring to her child as her son.
Dude just gets high and watches the laundry, man.
The left, the trans mom, will never accept that. They can't let a woman who is taking responsibility.
And that is why, ultimately, these are not the type of people you could beat in the marketplace of ideas. Charlie Kirk tried. He was the negotiator, and they killed him. Because they don't actually want to engage with your ideas at all, actually. They just want to kill you. The solution is obviously raising your children in a wholesome, two-parent, God-fearing home, if possible. You know, raising them
Oh
with
shit,
proper
I'm in the wrong
values and
place.
stuff. And also, by brutally humiliating the left. They need to be humiliated, publicly shamed everywhere, literally everywhere. I think it's super important, actually, to recognize, A, that they're immoral psychopaths, and that it's a psychopath position to be a leftist these days. But also, people need to know. People need to know. Unfortunately, so many people are scared into silence, you don't want to get canceled, etc. But this ultimate breaking of the Overton window is going to destroy the left completely. Because the moment the emotional floodgates open up, that's it. It's over. More and more women are realizing, hold up, I would really like to actually have a husband that takes care of me and children in my life. And following this leftist ideology, it's really making me very miserable, fat, and alone. And everything changes. Everything changes. Nothing radicalizes a woman like getting married. And essentially, we're just seeing this everywhere. We're seeing the gigantic drop-off of leftist ideology everywhere. This is RFK Jr. talking about the vaccines during COVID.
They say, what they're saying, out of 22,000 people, there was one COVID death among the vaccinated, and there was 2 COVID deaths on the unvaccinated. 22,000 people. So, and that allowed them to claim it's 100% effective.
Effective for what? You can't use the word effective.
No, but you remember they kept saying it's 100% effective.
No, they just said it'll
I
negate
can
the
tell you,
severity.
if you go on the internet, you can see Tony Fauci.
And he's right. This is actually true. They all did say that. The narratives are all falling apart and collapsing in real time. All right? And this is what the leftist policy gets you. So this is a bodega owner. All right? He told ABC a year ago that he fears for his safety in New York because of the migrants.
Violence against
And the
bodega.
violence and the looting and stuff.
The workers he'd seen on social media.
All right, 12:30. My niece is gonna be here.
Sometimes you got robbed and
All right.
police never responds quick.
Tonight, the organization is wondering if the person who shot Abdul Salah was someone who shouldn't have been on the street itself.
Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. 1 year ago, this guy goes on the news, on ABC, to say he fears for his safety because of all the violence and the lack of crackdown on stuff like that. And now he's dead. They killed him 1 year later. 1 year later, they killed this guy. He's like, I fear for my life. They don't do anything about it, and now he's dead. And it's crazy. This is Ron DeSantis talking about how, leftist policies to import infinite illegals, that's not actually good. And there's a reason why leftists keep dropping off the illegal alien communities in right-wing states, because they're trying to flip the states. That's ultimately why they're doing this mass immigration shit. It's for control, all right? So Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, came up with this epic strategy. He's gonna start shipping illegals into Democrat areas, and then watch the Democrats try to deport them. Yeah, because they're violent. What? No.
The transporting immigrants to Democratic states, notably, what went on with
Martha's Vineyard. Yeah. So here's the thing. Biden opened the border. I think most people, even a lot of Democrats, agree that was a big mistake, right? Because you have 10 million people. We don't know who these people are. And I get some of the businesses want cheap labor. That's not in the best interest of the United States. So I sent people to the southern border. I was the first state to help Texas. Reality is you're limited in what you can do in that situation if the feds are not going to be supported. So Biden was literally flying people. He was flying people into Florida. Let's just be clear. He would find people in foreign countries. They would sign up through this app.
Yo, Florida, do you want a nice, wholesome, growing Pakistani community? No. No, Florida does not want that. Please, keep them away.
And then he would fly them into the United States. And I think it was frustrating because it was putting a lot of stress on communities. It's obviously not consistent with the rule of law. I mean, I don't care if you want a lot of...
Also, they rape. Important, little caveat. They rape. They rape more. What can I say? What can I say? What can I say? I respect women so much that I don't want them to get raped by migrants.
Immigration, no immigration. We don't want people pouring in illegally. I think everyone can agree with that. So, but how do you get traction on it? And as our view is that the power centers that were more supportive of the policy were in a position they weren't having to deal with the effects of the policy. Some little town in South Texas, they're getting overrun. Some of these others are not. So you had Texas as well, sending to New York City, Chicago. Our thing with Martha's Vineyard was we knew it would be a very sharp contrast. And I didn't know how they were going to react, right? So we did it after Labor Day, so the season had ended. And so they went in, and this was all voluntary. They signed forms, whatever, saying that they wanted to go to Martha's Vineyard. And so they went. And there was 50 of them. They called out the National Guard. They got them off the island the next day. And so I think that showed a lot of people, well, wait a minute. That milieu up there, you know, they're supportive of this. They literally, Martha's Vineyard had an office in their downtown that said, refugee welcome center, nobody is illegal. All like they had those signs there. I don't think they ever serviced a single person, but that was what was done. So it was an ideological thing, you know, they were doing it, but the minute they had to deal with any of the fallout from it, you did. That did change the narrative on that. Some of the other cities too, but the Martha's Vineyard thing, and I would say if you look in the 2024 election cycle, economy, but border was very close as the #2 issue.
Yeah, and the reality is, that's the craziest part, all right? He sends them into Democrat areas, and then they would get them deported, because it's like, no, we don't actually want these guys in our community. Nothing radicalizes a generation like the rape of a generation of children, all right? And dude, these people are just laughing stocks right now.
And by the way, this whole
I don't even know what they're talking about.
And, you know, let me tell you, it's all about the white culture, this, and, you know, we have a problem with this. Every one of these guys, as much as they bash the white culture in America,
The Donald keeps cooking, proving everyone wrong every single time. So this is a post from the White House account. This was after the United States absolutely humiliated the United Nations. So the UN wanted a review of the Global Compact on Migration. The US objected to this because they are against replacement migration. Not only that, but they are specifically stating that the UN made efforts to facilitate replacement migration. Now, this was a conspiracy theory for like the last 10 years. That wasn't allowed to be said or you'd get banned. This was a conspiracy theory that people have been talking about for like 30, 40 years. It got bigger over the last 10 years. The government shut it down. They called you a white supremacist if you even mentioned this, and now it's a fact. Just bringing this into the cultural zeitgeist is massive. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, these are just words. Things aren't happening. That's not true. It, again, popularizes the term. It radicalizes the people. It shifts the Overton window. It shows the direction of policy of the future of the right wing in America and of Europe, to be honest. And also, it gives a middle finger to the UN, which honestly, fuck the UN. I hate the UN. Those guys suck. They suck. They eat babies in the UN, probably. Anyway, so then Donald Trump tweets remigration, crossing off replacement migration. Again, terminology, the likes of which we have never seen. This is acknowledging that there is some sort of objective fact that people are flooding our countries with infinite brown to replace us, quite literally. I don't see any replacement migration going on in the Congo, all right, or in Nigeria. Ain't no one sending diversity over there. We ain't shipping British people to fucking Nicaragua, okay? Let's be real, all right? It's not happening. All right, but it is objectively true that we are importing third worlders and retards and dipshits into our countries, and it's only made everything worse. Objectively, they pay less taxes. Objectively, they make less money. Objectively, they're on welfare. Objectively, the rape rates are higher in these communities because they come from fucking third world Islamic shitholes. Why? It doesn't benefit us. The only goal of it, obviously, is the replacement. Let's be honest. So now, or cheap labor, I guess, if you're a complete and utter sociopath that hates your own country. So this is massive. The messaging is huge because it shows the direction we're going. So anyway, of course, the leftoid's losing it. All right, this is awesome. Remigration is a far-right ethno-nationalist concept that advocates for the mass state-orchestrated deportation of non-white immigrants, refugees, and sometimes their naturalized native-born children to the countries of ancestry. Let's be honest, the House is declaring war on any American who isn't white. It's not about legal status. It's about ethnicity. If you're non-white and still backing the GOP, you need to understand exactly what your party is playing for your life. Right, so these guys are crying, they're yelling, they're screaming. It's a conspiracy theory. It's white supremacy. It's ethno-nationalism, etc., yada yada. Now, when a leftist says this to me, I always say, and under your leftoid subjective moral compass, where everything is moral if you decide that it's good, and it's not moral if you decide that it's bad, and your morality is not based on anything, why should people who want this not vote for it? That's what I say to leftists. I don't even like try to argue the points with these people because they don't live in reality. When a right-wing person talks about bullshit, there is an objective replacement. All right, no one's saying that we need to deport every black person that came here as a slave to Africa. We are, however, saying that we're not trying to import a complete fucking underclass of society to just basically come to our countries, change the actual ethnic and cultural makeup of the country and rape us to death. I feel like we need to be a little honest about this. So Stephen Crowder actually popped up on this, and he's been pretty based lately.
Let me address one thing here.
systematically replaced by immigrants. I don't care about the intent. Now, I do believe that there is intent. Why? Because they've said it. Not all, though. Many leftist leaders have said, yeah, you need to change these demographics. For example, you saw that ad in Germany where they were having a threesome with an African, I believe, migrant from Middle Eastern. You saw those ads from Denmark where they said you actually shouldn't marry or pop or procreate with people of your own race. If that's racist, if you're white.
Only if you're white.
Yes. So there are plenty of people who have said you need to change the racial demographics because these nations are too white.
True. This is objectively true, by the way, and I feel like a lot of people like dancing around it. This is done maliciously, obviously. That's why Hollywood pushes it. That's why everyone's trying to normalize this shit. The idea that all cultures and all people are completely equal and compatible in every feasible way, and that culture doesn't change or deteriorate if you bring people from fucking third world shitholes into your country. It's objectively false, all right? But these people don't live in reality. They are trying to psyop you, and it's been working.
That's some of them. You can't prove that there's a cabal and that all of the people involved are pushing this proactively. I don't care. Intent doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It is happening. That's a statistical reality. So let's get off the, you're saying replacement theory, which is a white supremacy. You know what? No, I'm just saying that numbers are shifting and white people are being replaced. White percentage, white Christian percentage going down. Yep. Islamic migrant, African migrant.
Oh, I like that color.
Non-white Anglo-Saxon migrants going up. In some countries.
It's objectively true. All right, just to understand what's going on here, we're not even talking about intent. We're not talking about morality. We're talking about facts. The fact is, there is a replacement. Objectively.
It's already hit a tipping point. That is a statistical reality, just like you don't need to make the rate.
They do the same thing also. You're not going to say that statistically fact people are more likely. Actually, it's true. Like, I'm sorry if it offends you, but it's true. I'm sorry. I don't actually give a fuck about your theory.
Racial argument primarily, or the intent of crime, just point to crime statistics.
There it is.
These are what they are. Do not blame me.
Right, so objectively, first we have to acknowledge that it happened. And it's objectively true that it happens. You're not allowed to talk about that it happens. You're considered in white, far-right conspiracy theories if you mention that it happens. Right, but just understand, so now that we can acknowledge that it happened, thank God for President Trump. All right, instead of President Kamala Harris, God bless that we dodged that bullet. Trump dodged the bullet, so did the country, for real, for real. All right, so this happened, objectively. We're discussing it openly, objectively. We're shitting on the UN for this, objectively, openly. All right, the left is losing their mind, calling it a conspiracy theory. We're proving it with numbers, that it's an objective fact. You can't argue with it. And here's the best part. Project Liberal tweets. I'm pro-immigration, but they're trying to replace me. I already said I was pro-immigration. You don't have to convince me. So, understand where we are right now. We went from, it's not happening, to, yeah, it is happening, but it's actually a good thing. This is the life cycle of every right-wing conspiracy. It's not happening, it's a right-wing conspiracy theory, it might be happening, and it's a good thing that it's happening. All right, this life cycle has been proven correct every single time. Before getting too deep into the chaos, free cash was promised to me 3,000 years ago. One thing I recently added to my daily routine is using free cash for a few minutes here and there. If I'm gonna play games as a time sponge, I might as well make some money out of it. Free cash is a fun and easy way to earn real money by doing simple tasks while already on your phone. Play games. Complete surveys, do simple tasks, and turn your bathroom break into an investment. I've been enjoying playing Call to Dragons on Free Cash, a high payout strategy-based building game. You get instant payouts with a really easy process through PayPal, Amazon, or Visa. There's already over $250 million paid out to over 60 million users worldwide. It's a win-win. They get someone to test out their games and fill out their surveys, and you get paid. Use the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to sign up and get a $10 bonus today. Now, back to the chaos. Every individual sign up literally supports the channel, so if you could click the link in the description and do the thing, that would be very appreciated. Just to understand what I mean. Breaking. Jose Celebos Armendariz. Sounds like a straight white Christian male to me. Mexican national, former Kansas mayor. Convicted of illegally voting in multiple U.S. elections, has been detained by ICE. So this is an illegal alien that's been A, voting, B, in the country illegally, C, a mayor of a major city. That's not a citizen. But they're not just replacing us demographically, which is true. But what the fuck is this? Now, just to like show you what our cousins are going through over there in England. All right. So this is a story that just happened yesterday. And by the way, this happens daily in England, every day, multiple times. An 18-year-old Southampton University student, Henry, has died after being repeatedly stabbed by 23-year-old Vikram Digwa. All right. Now you're like, oh well, duh, it's England. Muslims stab white people and Jews there literally every day. What's the news? Get ready. After being stabbed, police arrested Henry, the guy that was stabbed. As Digwa claimed, he had been racially abused. Henry then passed out and died in the street. Understand exactly where the fuck we are, man. Migrant stabs a white guy. The police show up. The migrant says Islamophobia. The police arrest the white guy and he dies in the street from his wounds. You literally do not hate these people enough, man. So I just wanted to show you some statistics that would radicalize the shit out of you. So asylum seekers, in other words, Muslim migrants, make up 0.08% of Dorset's population. All right, 0.08. That's pretty small. That's less than what? That's less than 0.1%. All right, let's go. They're 44% of the alleged sex offenses. Okay, all right.
Oh, I can still stick one in here, so that's even better.
No, we can't address per capita. Obviously, per capita is not a real thing we can talk about. White people rape too, says Pierce Morgan. 0.08% of the population, 44% of the alleged sex offenses. All right, look at how insane this is. If someone called it a rape jihad, how would that term be inaccurate? It wouldn't be. So, breaking, UK Muslim imam responsible for spreading the lie about Israeli rape dogs has been busted raping little British girls. So weird. I can't believe this is happening every single day. We get another one of these stories. So Keir Starmer obviously has a lot to say because there is a massive right-wing shift in England where people are trying their absolute best to talk about this obvious issue. You know, that they're importing rapist barbarian orcs into the Shire. All right, so they're setting up a rally under Tommy Robinson to talk about this, and Keir Starmer, who always had open border policies and let in infinite illegal aliens, is closing the border to right-wing speakers at this event.
Tomorrow's march in London is a reminder of what we're up against in the battle of our values.
What?
The organisers, including convicted thugs and racists, are peddling hatred and division. Plain and simple.
Remember, this is the guy covering up, you know, Islamic rape gangs, talking about how the enemy of the country is talking at a rally about the Islamic rape gangs.
All is to convince people that Britain's problems are caused by those living along.
Is he out dealing?
But that is not the Britain that I know. This is
because you're living in a palace.
Where you at, G?
Fairness and respect.
He's over by the barbershop.
Do not rape my child, please.
People from different backgrounds come together in common purpose. This is our country, with a majority who share those values. A majority who may not always be as loud.
Bro, you just lost your election.
In who we are. So, my government will not stand in the way of peaceful protest. But we will act decisively against...
Dude.
We will
You need to get that paranoid guy away from you.
when that hatred manifests as violence. And we will ban those coming into the UK.
Try selling some of this.
As we have done.
And you know what?
Wow.
Sell that too.
This country belongs to all of us.
Alright, so that's set up for a while.
Who seek to stand in the way of that.
This country belongs to all
That
of us.
guy's
even the
losing
people
it,
that are
man.
still in Pakistan that didn't make their way over yet. Bro, these guys are
Alright,
killing
this
it in the
storage room.
Bro, 4,000 likes, 8,000 replies. Getting obliterated out there.
Oh, I needed to
Right,
wait
so
till,
understand what this guy is saying. I am leaving the border
dude's
open
freaking out,
to
man.
barbarians from the third world. I am closing the border to very professional
I got a couple hours.
speakers
What is
at a
that, 10?
conference that I don't like. Because they're saying things that, well, I don't like what they're saying. The rape of a generation, that's cool by me. But words that demonize rapists, pedophiles, that's too much. Alright, so Zoran Mamdani does the same shtick over here in America. Just understand this is the Islamization
Keith
that's
fixing
happening
to cross
everywhere.
the bridge.
People are going to turn a blind eye to it. I am outraged that a swastika flag was raised overlooking Washington Square.
There he is. Here he comes.
Meant to spread fear among and intimidate the Jewish New Yorkers into no place in our city. Right? He'll say nothing about
Hey, Keith.
the Palestinian pogroms.
Can I interest you in a free sample?
Literally, no one's talking about this. Right? We'll never see him talking about this.
I want to see you turn into a black guy. You turned green. You alright, dude?
Synagogues on fire. This is a daily occurrence in New York work right now.
Huh.
They just have to live with this.
That's
All
weird.
With global jihad, right? It's horrible news for Zohran Mamdani, the ICC, International Criminal Court prosecutor.
Oh,
Did
Chloe.
not find any evidence of genocide in Gaza. Truly the worst day ever if you're a retard. Anyway, so
How you doing, girlfriend?
screaming about a swastika flag because he could blame the far right for it, even though it was almost definitely a Palestinian protester and an Islamist, because they've been caught with tons of Nazi flags and Nazi books, and they do the Hail Hitler symbol
Puke
while
all over the counter.
protesting against the Jews. Like, it's just absolutely wild. Notice how easy it is for politicians can condemn a Nazi flag hanging at NYU, yet how hard it is for them to condemn a mass mob of
Looks like
supporters gathered
old
on the streets
Jerry's
of
out here
Iraq,
moving,
Jews.
booting a boot.
Bro, this is a guy literally holding a Hezbollah terrorist flag. This is a
No.
terrorist organization designated by the United States of America. All right? Like, so it is wild watching this happen. We have to live like this. Now,
Go door to door for a minute.
Craziest depositions I've ever seen in my life. So this is the Democrat Fairfax prosecutor who is currently getting drilled in Congress in possibly the greatest way I've ever seen. I'm so happy this is public.
It could not sentence this person to any term over 2 years. Is that not correct?
Sir, I'm so glad you brought this.
Is that not
right? So get ready for the actual story here. All right, this is the prosecutor who released a child sexual predator. Literally let a pedophile out of jail because the pedophile was a migrant.
Term over 2 years.
Not what she likes, huh?
Sir, I'm so glad you brought this.
Is that not correct?
Well, because I would like to explain, sir.
It is correct, and the court rejected it.
Sir, I know this was a
Wait, I know what I want to do over here. Let me put this up.
Was appointed by Senator Warner. This is not a right-wing judge. This is a liberal judge. You know why he rejected it?
Sir,
he saw what you should have seen.
He
cited overwhelming evidence.
Can we talk about the evidence?
There we go.
I know it and you don't.
Quit talking.
And I would
this
love to
person
tell you
was
about
a
it.
threat. He yanked a 4-year-old girl out of her bed with the intent to harm her, and you wanted to give her a cap of 2 years.
Sir, this
and
is
then when the plea agreement was rejected, what did you do?
This is brutal.
Sir, this is a
what
great
did
example.
you do?
This is a great example of a case.
You know, I prosecuted. I prosecuted
and then
cases.
You understand.
And when you're
there he is.
You know what that's a sign of? Guilt. What did you do?
Sir,
you dismissed the case.
What the fuck?
Mr. Niyaris, when you dismiss, be quiet. When you dismiss a case, what happens to that defendant? He walks free. Walks free. A disgusting, perverted individual preying on children that you dismissed the case. As the father of 2 young girls, one of them
is like bone chilling.
I'm glad you feel that way.
And anything I have seen, quit defending the indefensible. You clearly don't.
Absolutely
you dismissed the case and it's shameful. Sir, you're a coward.
He's ticking, I think.
Shred that ball, bitch.
It's indefensible, sir.
Hopefully he doesn't fly into the water.
Literally sweating from that. You felt the rage, and it was completely and utterly justified. The left doesn't believe in law and order whatsoever. They just believe in their infinite agenda, and this is what they do. And the results are obvious. All right, so Brandon Gill, then also unleashed fury on the Democrat Fairfax, Virginia prosecutor that protected an illegal alien child rapist. Right, bro killed him in Congress too.
Oh, he didn't have a key.
Illegal aliens immigration status whenever you're making charging decisions.
Yeah, sorry about that. Somebody exploded out there. I don't know what's going on, man.
Are you familiar with that case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is a Guatemalan.
I wanted another one of these mixing machines. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Alright, well, thanks a lot, dude. I'll, talk to you later.
Briefly, what does carnal knowledge of a 13 to 14-year-old mean in this context?
Well, sir, generally, a charge like that would typically refer to underage sex.
Okay, so he raped an underage person, an illegal alien who raped an underage American. Your office reduced those charges to a misdemeanor charge of consensual sex with a child, 15 years and older. You offered him a 90-day suspended jail sentence. Is that correct?
Oh.
Sir,
by the way, just understand what we're dealing with here.
Based on the evidence that we had in the case?
So it is correct.
yeah, obviously it is correct. Duh. Otherwise he'd be denying it, which he isn't. And this is how they operate. Oh, well, the defendant is an illegal alien from Nicaragua or whatever the fuck. So, I mean, he didn't know that raping children is wrong. But we really put him in jail for raping some kids, bro, when he didn't even know was a problem. Really, they love raping kids in Nicaragua. They don't even see it as an issue. Sir, you've proven my point. We need to deport them all. Thank you. I rest my case. Get them all out of here. I don't care. Separate families. Nope, we're gonna deport the whole family. Get them all out. Sorry.
7.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Don't care. Get them out. They gotta go. Sorry, bro. If you have some sort of defense in court to be like, well, raping children is okay in their culture, so therefore we're gonna diminish the sentence, but he didn't know that culture is not assimilatable whatsoever. It's not compatible.
14.
Get them the fuck out. Get them the fuck out. There is no reasonable, logical argument to be made. So understand, when we're talking about when we're talking about remigration, all right, the white supremacist ideology.
That's basically everything they sell. So
I don't care what you call
I got 20 of
what
each.
your titles are. I don't care if you call me a white supremacist, Nazi, pedophile. That doesn't matter.
Old Danny. Danny boy. The pipes are calling.
Who was mentioned in the Epstein files. So why do you care if we import infinite rapists to dark countries?
Alright,
there is
am I still energized? Yes, I am.
In the Epstein files. In fact, he was the guy who turned him over to the FBI and got him arrested.
Can I take a sedative or something?
But also, and I'm going to say this because this gets a guttural reaction out of every leftoid I mention this to. Everyone crashing about the Epstein files. Biden's open border
I need a dead drop. I forgot about that.
Times worse for children than Jeffrey Epstein's entire pedophile network, and it's not even close. And unlike Jeffrey Epstein, who's dead, and Ghislaine Maxwell, his accomplice, who's in prison, no one was punished for that absolute atrocity on mankind that we had to just sit there and watch happen while they banned us from social media platforms for even talking about it. You can suck your own fuck. Playtime's over. Remigration is happening.
Just for curfew, man. These guys are nuts. God damn it.
Because like there are these websites that everybody would use and everybody would
I can't see. Where am I?
How torrenting websites work and seeding and like all of that. The more people use a site, the better the site is. So whenever
I couldn't get away. I couldn't see nothing. I got this fucking natural light glare in here.
Less accessible for the lowest common denominator of internet user. I think that was another effect that it had.
For a lot of people, they've decided it's time to cut back.
Legitimately, it might be time to...
Well, I guess I'm not energized anymore.
Yep.
God damn it.
And it's just wasting money. There's so many of these, it's hard to keep track.
You don't even
At
know.
that point, that's an adversarial relationship. I don't want to pay people to enter adversarial relationships.
That's right.
As I said, for this business to be a growth business for the company with margins that our shareholders will feel good about.
So well, that didn't happen.
Really made piracy go away, and what's really bringing it back might sound simple, but there's actually a bit more going on. First and foremost, the majority of people actually would like to acquire their media legally as long as it was easy and not ridiculously expensive.
People want to have the media legally because it makes it easier to transfer and to use. And also there's risks with piracy. Like, for example, you download something and it could have a virus in it or something like that. Or obviously you could get caught, but like realistically it's probably a virus. So, and again, these are 1% probabilities, but like if you had a bag of M&Ms and one M&M was poisoned, would you want to eat a bag of M&Ms? No, you wouldn't, right? You'd want to have another bag, even if the other bag was like way, way more expensive.
Reasonable people understand that it costs time and money to produce a song, film a movie, or develop a video game. And the people involved in these projects do need to be compensated, or else they are just not going to make them. Even people who frequent the high seas, so to speak, know this better than anybody else. A survey coming out of Australia at the peak of online piracy found that people who pirated content were actually more likely to pay for it if it was available. In a finding that really ages the study, online pirates...
Interest in content would imply interest in content. If people are willing to steal something, they're also probably part of the target audience automatically.
because they wouldn't be stealing it if they weren't part of the audience. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like common sense, but like stating it kind of helps put things into perspective.
Were far more likely to pay for movies and music through iTunes or QuickFix. This was because people who pirated content were just more likely to consume content overall, and most of them would only make the trip to the Bay if they couldn't find what they were looking for more legitimately. So there were two things that changed after 2013. Sure, there were a few high-profile crackdowns on some of these sites, but even the regulators themselves knew they were just playing a game of whack-a-mole. One of the most downloaded files on the Pirate Bay was the Pirate Bay. A complete copy of the site with all of the addresses that could be set up by basically anybody with some basic server hardware in the event that the authorities took down the original site. But then came along the streaming sites that, thanks to faster internet speeds, could let users watch content on demand without granting them direct access to digital files which could then be copied and shared illegally. The big thing.
And the fact is that like Netflix is a better service than using Pirate Bay. It is. It's a better service. You get a higher quality product on average. There's no watermarks. There's a lot of, like, it's a better service. It's the same as Spotify. Spotify is a better service than Pirate Bay was. I don't know. Like, I mean, so you like, you're right in terms of the breadth of content, but I don't think that you're right in terms of the quality of the individual content.
Was that these options were just so easy compared to piracy, and so cheap compared to buying songs or movies one by one that it just didn't really make sense to bother with anything else. Nowadays, that's clearly changed. There are dozens of streaming services that are each getting more and more expensive every year. The movies and shows that you watch are
This is crazy. This is insane. This is like we've gone full circle, and now we're all the way back to cable. Quality is worse? Well,
not
again,
in a minute.
So quality, you're thinking about quality in terms of video quality. I'm thinking about quality in terms of aggregation. I'm thinking about quality in terms of...
I will in a second here. Let me at least fill these pots. I'm waiting for the dead drop.
Usability,
But I want at least the pots to be ready.
Files. All of these things, and again, guys, I understand a lot of... almost everybody in here...
I'm gonna. Now, my next step is to
we're talking on the internet constantly, doing stuff.
Set up a meth lab
I think
in
really downplay
the sweatshop,
that an average person gets out of having a.
And then eventually, once I get both up and going really well, I'm going to hire guys.
He was such a great visionary. And that's why the iPod was so successful.
I'm actually, after I come back from lunch with my niece, I'm putting together some stuff to do on my birthday stream tomorrow. And I will be watching videos on that Subnautica game. Dude, I built a fucking base. I had the underwater base going on, and then all of a sudden the walls got ruptured. And they were fucking rupturing faster than I could fix them.
Wait, what?
So I gotta watch some videos and figure out how to build a base and.
Oh my god!
Watch a movie these days is
what a scam! That's insane.
I gotta learn a lot more about that game before I can be any good at it or even give it a good judgment. Because right now it's frustrating. Because I don't know how to do certain things, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna give it a bad review right now. I gotta learn how to play the game before I can actually give it an honest review. I didn't want to say good review, but before I can give it an honest review, I gotta learn how to play the game.
It's easy to write this whole thing off as
and
just
so far,
being needlessly greedy to their own peril.
the game itself doesn't have tutorial. So I have to find tutorial elsewhere. I'm not knocking the game, don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on it. I was having a lot of fun playing it. It's just I got stuck, and I don't know how to get unstuck, so I have to watch some videos on it. But I will do that later today. I'm sure tomorrow I will be playing the game. I'll be doing a lot of shit tomorrow because I'm basically setting it up so I'll be online all day tomorrow. So.
But most of them still go along with it because even a small share of something is better than most of their music being accessed for free.
Yeah, the thing is that like people are going. You either
and I gotta buy some stuff.
That people want to pay, or it gets stolen.
I made a spicy pulled pork.
The issue is that like it's unethical to steal things,
that I'm gonna do like this Hawaiian barbecue thing with and serve on rice tomorrow.
Raises a potentially
That's what I'm gonna
unpopular
have for my
idea
birthday.
That it might not be streaming that's broken. It might be the movie industry that's broken.
So I gotta go grocery shopping too. I gotta get fresh pineapple, I know that. But I also have to relook at the sauce recipe. Because the barbecue sauce, it's a Hawaiian barbecue sauce too, that it's like sour. So you got, it comes out like a sweet and sour mixed with the pineapple. So you have like a sour sauce, and then you have the sweet pineapple in there. It's hard to explain. But I had it once before, and it was really good.
Fix the lighting and even remove the worst of the stains. I could finally read the numbers again.
I forgot what I was doing. Oh, I'm killing time to wait for the dead drop. So let's toke up.
Or even something my dog got his teeth on, iScanner makes it super easy to salvage whatever's left and turn it
But
into
yeah, I
something
will be
useful.
playing
It's
Subnautica
fast,
tomorrow,
it
and I
works
will
all
be
my
better
devices,
at it.
And the free version actually does what I need.
Notepad really
including
does this? I
editing,
don't even know.
signatures, and storing everything in one place.
So you can
Check
make
it out
fake
with the link
documents?
below,
That's cool.
and make your paperwork just a little less painful.
I don't even use paperwork.
Netflix is the most dominant movie and TV streaming service in the
Yeah,
world.
no surprise.
It has over 300 million paying
Oh, it's right there.
subscribers, and unlike a lot of its competitors, it's actually profitable.
Oh, it's actually making money now? I thought it was losing money still.
But from its very first days of online streaming, they knew they would eventually lose people back to piracy. They just really didn't care. And to see why, I'm sorry, but you are going to have to look at some financials.
Okay.
Last year, it made $8.7 billion in net income after taxes,
Yeah.
which is extremely impressive. But it's still doesn't justify the valuation of more than
8.7 billion. 8. What did it say? Billion or million? Wait, it only made $8 million, but the enterprise value is $500 billion? Who the fuck decided that? An elf? Oh, after 10,000 years, it's gonna be worth it. Oh, billion? But that's a million.
after taxes. Have to look at some financials. Last year, it made $8.7 billion in net income after
Okay, well, I guess he just said the wrong number.
taxes,
I
which
don't
is
know.
extremely impressive. But it still makes it hard to justify the valuation of more than $500 billion.
I mean, I don't know. Like, usually a company's valuation, like, especially if it's not like an intellectual property company, like Netflix does its own shows. So, like, even with intellectual property, like, you're really looking at like a 7 to 15x multiplier from everything that I know about venture capital, period. And like, 7 is the ceiling, and 15 would have to be like some sort of like weird AI thing that like nobody's ever thought about. So, I mean, 540 is insane.
At that rate, shareholders would need 57 years for their investment to pay off, which is not a reasonable bet for a company in an industry that has only been dominant for a decade. 57 years ago, watching a movie looked like this. And in another 57 years from now,
yeah, that's
it's highly
crazy.
unlikely that we will still be watching movies through the current selection of streaming services. Now, most investors in this company aren't dumb. They know that Netflix can't make their money back with its current structure. What they are banking on is being able to offer a cheaper service that can charge more for in order to fatten up those margins.
Let's not talk about my margins, by the way. Being nice and fat. That's a nice shirt. Do they make it for men?
Anyway, cutting content, raising prices, and pushing strange features like mobile games within the app are not some surprise new rollout. They are part of a
It's
development.
the ads. I think the ads are what's really going to push people away from using apps. Because like people like the reason why people went to piracy in the first place is because of accessibility. You could only watch a TV show at 8 p.m. and also because there were a million commercials in it.
Plan that the company knew it would have to implement since it started offering online streaming. It would just be a lot better if they could do it without competition. Now, on the expenses side, there is some good news. As technology improves, network infrastructure has become cheaper for the same capacity, which means the actual cost to stream videos to users is getting better every year. Netflix's cost of revenue, adjusted for inflation, has actually been stable since 2022, despite adding almost 100 million new users in that time. Included in those costs are the
Wait, so their revenue stays the same, but they keep adding users? I don't think that's a good thing. That sounds like a bad thing.
aforementioned servers and network infrastructure, but it also includes the cost to license and produce their own movies, TV shows, and games. Another big reason their costs have been improving is because they just aren't licensing as much content as they used to, and that's for two reasons. The first was a business decision to cut down on a cost, especially for content that wasn't drawing in new users. The second reason is simply because they can't get their hands on as many titles anymore, because independent studios have made their own streaming services and want to keep their biggest IPs exclusive. So
This is the big reason. Is that, like, there are just too many other services, and you don't have a one-stop shop. Spotify is a one-stop shop. Netflix isn't anymore, and it's not even close.
Force users to either switch to their platform or shell out for 2 or more streaming services.
Crazy.
Netflix is slowly producing its own titles, but that hasn't caught up to the content they are losing from licensing. So then
Netflix also has a massive weakness that they don't have. Every IP they have to source themselves. Like Disney has its own endemic IPs, like Snow White or something like that. That, you know, maybe they can make something really bad, but it's a known IP that everybody understands. Netflix, like One Piece, was a massive success. My dad watched this. He loved it. He thought this show was amazing. So, like, I mean, it was a big success. And even the Devil May Cry show, I think, did pretty well, right? But overall, Netflix has made good shows, but they have to source these shows themselves. And so they have to pay for licensing, etc. Whereas like Paramount or HBO, they might have the IP for this to begin with. Especially this is true with Disney. Like, think about the advantage that Disney has whenever they already own the entire catalog of Marvel movies. That's like such a massive baseline advantage.
Does this mean that Netflix doesn't care about piracy? Well, publicly they say they do, of course. But piracy is going to hurt their competition a lot more than it's going to hurt them. If people can't find a movie or show on Netflix and then give up and pirate it, that didn't really cost Netflix any money, because the vast majority of content out there.
I requested one of the doctors to call me. I don't count my chickens before they hatch.
What do I gotta do? I gotta wait. Oh, holy shit!
Let's get
I gotta
back to
trim this up.
A lot more than it's going to hurt them. If people can't find a movie or show on Netflix and then give up and pirate it, that didn't really cost Netflix any money, because the vast majority of content out there wasn't theirs to lose, and they most likely didn't spend the money producing it. A 2023 paper in the Journal of Economic Behavior and Organization titled Pirate and Chill found that when movies moved off Netflix to another platform, piracy of that content increased by more than 20%. Now,
Netflix has such a massive first mover advantage. They're basically like the Twitch of like streaming platforms. Is that while other streaming
The thing
platforms
sucks about
exist
buying from
and they're
Oscar is I don't know how much anything costs until I
they
actually
don't
get
have
to
the
them.
same brand recognition and
But
name
I think the mess stuff is like only like $500,000 a piece. I think the oven's $500. I think the chemistry set's
that's
$1,000.
really big reason why this happens too.
First and foremost,
But I want to buy
that's
2
an
of
amazing name
each.
for a professional journal article.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
That's
it
like
shows
$3
why
grand.
Netflix hasn't been too concerned with online piracy. In a now infamous quote from the company's chief content officer, they said that in order for Netflix to be successful, we need to become movie studios faster than movie studios can become us. Piracy that disproportionately hurt legacy movie studios and their libraries of content was not something that Netflix would encourage. But behind closed doors, they certainly weren't too sad it was happening. Another way to think about this is that obviously Amazon isn't encouraging shoplifting, but it's a problem that hurts their competition far more than it hurts them.
LA POV, I guess. I mean, they're right. You know, yeah, obviously people like what Netflix is saying is that they have a lot of like smaller shows that don't have like a huge amount of like they're not super well-known shows. So they're going to be less people pirating them. I think
Piracy
that's
has
true.
also been a handy little tool throughout the company's history. Back in 2013, it admitted to using data from online piracy sites to find out what was popular and therefore what was.
Hey, you could say this is unethical, but you can't say it's not going to be effective. That's a really good fucking idea. Yep, figure out what kind of shit people steal and then don't sell that.
It's worth licensing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Netflix doesn't care about the rise of piracy. But what about the actual Hollywood studios? Well, they obviously do, and they crack down on IP theft with furious anger. But they are in a difficult situation. They could send piracy back to the Dark Ages by reconcentrating their content onto a single easy platform. But at the moment, that would probably...
They can't, because then you're just going to have people that are going to be putting up the files somewhere else. Like, it's always a game of whack-a-mole, and the more difficult that you make it for people to, like, consume the content, the more people will just simply take the easier route. I think that people will pay for the content if they can, But if it's annoying for them to pay for it, they'll just steal it.
Be Netflix, which a company like Disney would obviously not be willing to go along with after investing so much in their own service. If they keep competing, though, they are just going to make the experience worse for everybody and probably lose more ground to the high seas. Now, for these companies, this whole fight could not be happening at a worse time. There is a reason why music studios were able to play nice and make their content available just about anywhere while movie studios were fighting to the death. Music is simply much cheaper to produce, and there are far more sources of alternative revenue beyond just directly selling a song or an album. Artists don't make as much
point too. Yeah, you're right about that. Like having like other types of licensing, etc. And like this is something that like remember Matt Damon talked about this, is that movies used to have like DVD sales that they could really pop off with. So like if a movie, like a good example of this I think is I would say like maybe Dredd. Like they made a Judge Dredd movie in like 2012 or so, and if I remember right, the box office wasn't very good, but it did really well with DVD sales. And so yeah, Grandma's Boy is probably another one. Yeah, there's a lot of these examples, right, where like it sold a lot of DVDs, but like its initial like box office was kind of low. And yeah, by Blu-rays, yeah, a good-ass movie called Classic. Yeah, Idiocracy was a huge one that sold well on DVD. Yeah, that's a great example. Idiocracy is probably a better example than what I'm talking about, right? And so now you don't have that second ripple explosion wave effect. And I think that's also another reason why movies have to try even harder to like monetize. And I think that's why you see less avant-garde, risky movies. And the only time that you see a movie
I should
that
probably
takes
find a way to
risks
squeeze
is
it.
when it's a director
Another machine
or
in
has a
here.
cast
I bet you I could
that's, like,
fit
you know, guaranteed
along
to
that back
secure a
wall.
certain amount of money in sales.
from streaming as they would from a
Donnie
physical
Darko?
album sale,
Well, I watched
but
it
they
on
can make
DVD,
it up
yeah.
tours, merchandising,
Good
and
example.
other licensing deals. On the flip side, movies have largely been getting more expensive to produce,
Yep.
while cinema attendance has never fully recovered from its dip during COVID. Ironically, one of the biggest theater releases of the past 5 years was actually
Infinity
for
War, right? It's got to be Infinity War.
a music studio with the cinema release of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour.
Oh God, somebody's gonna stop these white girls. Jesus Christ. Oh God. Man, that shit was huge. How did this happen?
In the past, poor box offices wouldn't matter as much, because mid-budget movies could make a lot of their money back through DVD sales.
Hey!
But obviously, that's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah.
So studios have put even more effort into pushing their streaming services to eventually make back the difference.
Yep.
It's a bold strategy, and there are hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap at stake. So executives really want to pretend that eventually it'll work out. But if it doesn't, there are some lessons to be learned from the music industry which didn't beat piracy. It just made it unnecessary. The first is that movies have simply become too expensive for the current market.
And this is another big issue too.
Studios have recognized
This is another big issue, is that like video games are running into the same problem that movies and TV shows are running into, is that as production costs increase, they're increasing at a ratio and at a rate that doesn't match the amount of money that people are willing to spend. So whenever you have these video games that are costing $800 million to make, well, are you really getting $800 million of value? Well, in a lot of cases, the answer is no. So the problem is that these movies now are costing so much money. Like maybe you need to rethink how you're making movies. You need to rethink how you're approaching this. And like also, you know, like Robert Downey Jr. got paid like what, $80 million or something like that to play Dr. Doom. That's just not a sustainable business model. It's just not. Like you can't spend that much money on movie stars and then think that you're gonna make your money back. Like and also like I'm not like I love Robert Downey Jr. I think he's a great actor. He's amazing. But it's just this is not a good business decision. That's all. It's just not a good business decision. And you can't make your fucking money back. Yeah, paving the way for AI videos. Well, that's what's going to happen a lot. Check The Rock's salaries. I bet he makes a ton. Absolutely, it's unbalanced. Yeah, it's a broken system. 100% it is. They're definitely getting that value. They're not corrupted by ideologist directors. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of movies. Like here's another really good one. The Thunderbolts recently. I think that's a movie that, you know, a lot of people said was surprisingly very high quality and it was a good movie. I didn't watch it, so I'm only speaking in secondhand. But the box office sales for the movie were below average. That was my, it sucked ass. Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, I maybe best movie since Endgame. Yeah, so a lot of people, it still bombed. Yeah, exactly. Seems like you guys are a little bit more split on it than what I've seen popular opinion be. Okay, that's fair. But either way, a lot of these movies, like, they just don't really sell very well. And I think they're investing too much money into these movies in general. And I think also, you know, like, you go back and you think about a lot of the older movies, like, like, just Good Will Hunting, for example, right? Like, how much production value did you really need in that? You didn't need a huge, insane amount of production value. And I think that movies now, like, you don't have to have Michael Bay explosions and all of this crazy stuff happening. Yeah, that's another great example. Bro, Clerks. They couldn't even afford color fucking cameras. It's in black and fucking white. And they just went and made a movie and it was massively fucking successful. And so again, I think also they need to rethink the amount of money that they're spending on these movies. And you can go back, Memento by Nolan. I remember watching that in movie making class, but I don't remember even, like, that entire class I spent simping for this girl. It didn't work. Anyway, so that's yeah. So I did not even pay attention to that movie at all. And yeah, let's see here. Moneymaker there. Yeah, exactly right. Paranormal Activity 1. Yeah, and there's plenty of examples of this. Napoleon Dynamite, another great example. So they need to rethink how much money they're spending on movies in the same way that developers for video games need to rethink how much money they're spending on games. If you're investing this much money into something, you can't afford for it to lose, and you can't live, like, whenever you're dealing with entertainment products, you can't deal in absolutes. You can never guarantee something is going to be a success like this.
Nice that people are only going to the movies for special occasion releases these days because it's expensive, the theater experience isn't that good anymore, and people can just wait a month and watch it for free on one of the streaming services that they were already paying for.
And it's also, a lot of the movies now are coming out on streaming services at the exact same time that they're coming out in movie theaters. And so it's even more the case. I'm trying to think, like, what movie, like, that's coming out would I want to watch in movie theaters? I can't even think of anything. I'm trying to think the last one, like, I mean, I would have wanted to watch Infinity War in movie theaters. Like, maybe Superman? I don't really care about Superman. 28 years later? Yeah, maybe that. Like, I remember I watched 28 Weeks Later in movie theaters in, like, 2009 or whenever it came out. So, like, maybe that. I don't know. I'd really have to think about it. Gladiator 2? No, I didn't like it. 2, like, no, it didn't need to be that way. And Dune? Yeah, I guess, okay, you're right. All right, so if they make part 3 of Dune, I'd probably watch that in movie theaters. That would be the next one.
Instead of making the whole thing cheaper and putting less of their eggs in a single basket, they have doubled down on producing mega blockbusters. Of the 20 most expensive movies ever made, 19 of them came out in the last 10 years after streaming was already mainstream. These figures also only count the production budget, not the marketing budget. And on the revenue side, the box office
doesn't... And by the way, marketing budget for these is sometimes like hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not like marketing is small. It's a huge component.
Include the share paid out to movie theaters. With even extremely generous estimates of those arrangements, only about half of these releases made their money back. And some in particular, like the Marvel's Snow White, Dial of Destiny, and the latest Mission Impossible movie, are shaping up to be catastrophic losses. So far, studios have been able to justify these flagship productions to their investors by talking about their IP value, which can later be extracted by bringing in customers.
Yeah, Ironheart, bro. Like, how's that going? Not so good, huh?
To their streaming platforms. But that isn't really happening. Customers who join because they want to watch a single movie didn't tend to stay subscribed for very long compared to those who enjoy a deeper library of mid-budget movies or TV shows. I don't know about you, but I tend to take my subscription to whatever streaming service is hosting The Office this month. These huge productions also put more strain on the business as these losses have to be made up somewhere. And that is
always like, I just have a subscription to, I have like Crunchyroll, and Oh, I got Netflix, and that's about it. Like, I don't really have a lot of these.
More often than not, increased prices, more ads, and worse overall service.
Yeah, if it's not on there,
now,
I just
I would
don't
forgive you
watch
for
it.
not feeling too sorry for Hollywood studio executives, but they are really in a no-win situation here. The harder they push back against the changing media landscape, the harder they push people towards the high seas.
Yep.
So anyway, now might be a good time to shamelessly plug that these videos are being made available ad-free on Spotify. So if you would prefer to listen in or watch it over there, I have left a link in the description.
Yeah, Spotify is doing what they need to, what movies need to do. Because Spotify is like Steam. It prioritizes the user experience. And when you prioritize the user experience, you control the market. The moment that you start making content and developing your commercial product for the best interest of the people that are making money off of it is the moment that your commercial product begins to fail, because you've lost connection with your actual audience here.
If you think it's just streaming services that have been getting so bad, go and watch this video next to find out why making junk makes so much money. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep on learning how money works.
Well, I think that was a really good video. I think he gave some pretty good insight on it, especially with some of those graphs. I wasn't familiar with some of that too. And so I'm glad to see this. I'll link you guys the video. Make sure to give it a like. How money works. And I've watched these videos before. I don't know why I haven't seen it. But it's one of those things where, like, I think that we all know this is one of those realities, right? We all know this is, like, the reason. But it's good to actually see it.
God damn it. I forgot about that.
Story? This was so embarrassing for this guy. Like, David Cross, oh my God. I saw this and I wanted to show you guys about how embarrassing this is. Have you seen any reporting about the activists in DC training jurors? Purposeful jury nullification is one of the new weapons being prepared. Well, what they tried to do, see, this is the strategy that they try to do, is they try to occupy the justice system and then constantly defer to the outcomes of the justice system, right? So they're like, okay, well, we're gonna cheat this system, and you have to follow the system. Okay, well, I think I see where this is going, right? And so, yeah, it's embarrassing. It's so fucking embarrassing. I skipped the JRE episodes with the LA artists. Yeah, is that David Cross? Yeah, bro. Like, it's been a long time since Arrested Development, bro. Like, he probably still bald though. Yeah, that's why he's wearing a hat. And anyway, let me go back. I'm gonna look at this here. It's just so fucking embarrassing.
You need to be checked. People need to be checked.
They'll be,
Including your little girl.
Okay.
She needs to be checked. I don't know what.
Fuck that bitch. Fuck that little bitch with her black friends and trans friends, and not even understanding. She doesn't know.
Wait, she has trans friends in 3rd grade?
Yeah.
Trans friends in 3rd grade. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Very normal. Who doesn't?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, they
Okay.
know they're trans in 3rd grade.
Okay.
I knew one of her friends. I knew when he was a girl.
How old?
I think just turned 9.
Oh my God. What the fuck is wrong with them? What the fuck are they doing? Oh my God.
And
just turned 9.
And is just the coolest kid. I don't, you know, I think they're
Boy
gonna
to
be
girl, girl to boy?
Girl to boy.
Girl to boy.
And she has another very close friend who's not in this school, but who's boy to girl at 3.
But
3
girl
years
to
old.
boy, you know.
3 years old, they're trans. You have a trans 3-year-old?
And she has another very close friend who's not in this school, but who's boy to girl at 3.
But
3
girl
years
to
old.
Oh my God. This is Jail the parents. Yeah, we have to really, like, I mean, this is, I mean, at what point is this not child abuse? Really, how is this not just straight up child abuse? Oh my god. Unironic spawn camping? Yeah, I know. I don't even, I don't understand how, why are we putting up with this? Why do we put up with this for even a second? This is crazy. Like, and here's the issue with, well, let me finish the clip and then I'll go on a big talk.
Your boy,
there's
you know.
multiple clips about this. This is like just so embarrassing for him.
I mean, I knew somebody who said to me, actually more than one person who said to me, a woman said, you know, I was what they called a tomboy. If I was
they were trans.
Now, and acted the way I did then, that's what they would have done to me.
Well, nobody's doing this to her.
She's 9. The other one was 3. What do you mean nobody's doing that to her? Are you telling me that 9-year-olds can, 3-year-olds can consent? Of course not. So then somebody's doing it. They're children. Oh my god.
I don't know. I mean,
Literally, nobody is doing this to
How
her.
old?
She is, or he is, either 8 or, I think 9.
Okay,
Just
then
turned
somebody is doing something, because 8 or 9.
Thank God. Thank you, bro. Like, yes, exactly. 8 and 9-year-olds don't, they don't come to this conclusion. This was somebody that was groomed. Yes, exactly. Then somebody's doing it. Oh my, duh.
9-year-olds can't
No, you know what they're doing?
Can't
They're-
do anything on their own.
No,
Yeah, no, they can't.
they're buying them boys' clothes.
That doesn't make you trans. This is what's so funny about this, is that buying somebody and wearing a man's clothes doesn't make you a man. If I dress up in a you know, like a giraffe onesie, that doesn't make me a giraffe. Like, this is just common fucking sense. I don't even understand how, like, what the fuck is wrong with these retards? What is wrong with these retards? Like, this is insane.
Well, then they're doing something. They're doing.
Yeah.
Sure, yes, you're right. They're buying them boys' clothes.
And
Yes, they're buying them boy clothes. And
telling them you're a boy now.
That, yes, bro. Oh my God. These people, as I said, these people are the absolute fucking worst. They are so bad, and they are all like this. And you wore a dress before, and you're still a guy? I know. And Mulan wasn't trans. No, Mulan was not trans. And they can fly too. Based for calling it out. Yes, more people. And I think that we are not even remotely as vitriolic and aggressive against these people as we should be. These people are sick freaks that are trying to indoctrinate children into gender ideology that don't even know what puberty is. You're talking about a trans 3-year-old? He needs to get locked up. You're talking about a trans 9-year-old? He needs to get locked up. What are we doing here? Like, the amount of hostility and anger and resentment and, most importantly, consequences for these people, like, this is what you should be getting CP. Like, I would say, like, this is what I would do. If you are transing your kids and they're, like, before puberty, I would say CPS should take your fucking kids away from you. They should. This is sick. It's absolutely fucking sick that you have people doing this. Oh my God, CPS removed the kids. Yes, exactly. Like, what are we doing even allowing this to happen? Really, like, this is insane. CPS is ideologically captured? Well, then just fire them. Like, it's easy. Doctors need to be charged? Yes, doctors need to be charged. Parents need to be charged. Accomplices need to be charged. Anybody who's participating in this deliberate perversion and freak problem with children like this, there has to be accountability for it. There has to be accountability. Like, you can't let this you can't simply win at this issue. You have to completely grind this issue into dust. Nothing left after you're done with this. This is absolute fucking insanity. It is the most pedophilic, perverted, perverse, sick, weird, like indoctrination that I don't even know what you. I don't know. I don't have any more adjectives to use. Right? It's just very bad. Totally need to destroy this. Doesn't seem like a social experiment. I don't care if it's bad. You can't experiment on kids. Federal law needs to be implemented. Yes, exactly. If there's disagreement with the parents, the one pushing for transing their kids should get more years in jail. Well, the one that's pushing that's not for it. I mean, like I don't know. Like it's complicated. Where the fuck are the doctors getting generals for 3 and 9-year-olds? I think that it's like clay, right? I mean, it's just like, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't want to talk about, like, I mean, I think that the way they do it is that they take the existing tissue and they change the way that it looks. That's basically it. It's like changing clay from, like, one thing to another, right? I mean, like, that's, I think, what happens. Like, I'm not a big expert on this. I think that's what it is. You don't want to know? Yeah.
No, they're not telling them. They're just agreeing with. They're like going.
Well, they're
okay,
agreeing
honey.
with an 8-year-old because when
that's
is their
right.
Yeah, they're agreeing. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're an 8-year-old. You're right.
when has their judgment ever been off? At 8.
Yes. Exactly. Fucking exactly. Oh my God. So yeah. Oh yeah. Of course they're agreeing with an 8-year-old. What does that mean to you?
No, you knew you weren't gay.
Is this Tobias? It's Tobias. And what we've just learned is that Tobias wasn't a character. He's been a method actor for Tobias his entire life. Jesus Christ.
Right?
It's
not different.
It's obviously different. Because, so, whenever you're 8 or you're 5, you probably don't have any surety of your sexuality. Now, there are people who can look back on it and say, yeah, sure, that's the way that I felt, but you probably don't have the same solidification of it that you do whenever you're a kid. And also, if it's so defined as a child, then why are so many people that are molested as children turning into the molesters and the people that have these other issues, gender issues anyway? Why is this happening? Well, it's because it's not completely defined. Like, in my opinion, I think sexuality is both it is a product of nature and nurture. So I think that somebody's sexuality is pretty much predetermined, but it can be shifted and changed if they are introduced to anything that's very weird or problematic whenever they're kids. Like, I think a great example of this is like, how many people that are like furries, they said like, oh, well, I always thought Lola Bunny was really hot because I watched Space Jam. It's like, if you didn't have that, how many of them would still be furries? I think a smaller number of them. I think that a lot of these sexual perversions and, sexual inclinations that people have are, it's like, it's the metaphor I've used. Where's the, I don't know if I can find it still. The picture of the tree, right? It's the tree that, effectively, you have the tree growing in this way, you shift the way the tree grows, and now things are totally different. So, this is it. And tell me what wasn't hot? I don't think, look, guys, having talked about this is so brain dead, how low have we fallen to talk about this madness? I know. It's just sick.
It's different.
No, it isn't.
It's okay. Good luck with President Vance, because, as I always say to my woke friends, we voted for the same person. You're just why she lost.
I love him, bro.
Fuck.
You're totally right. You're completely fucking right. And the thing is that I will never vote for a candidate that can't take a complete and obvious and one-dimensional stance on trans pre-puberty kids.
So I'm running out of money.
It's really that simple. Like, this is just never going to happen. It's sick. Absolutely sick.
I need to get into the sewers.
And this is a case of that.
Wait, what?
We voted for the same person.
Right.
You're just why she lost. Because America hears this, and they're going to go, Bill's right. 8-year-olds can't really make decisions on their own like this. That's what most people are going to say. And
That's
shit.
right. Yep.
God damn it.
Got him.
I forgot I took the packaging machine back over here. God
this is where
damn
the
it.
Democrats are, with David Cross living in Brooklyn, with Mandami Loving, and this is why, you know, we're going to vote for J.D. Vance. And that's.
He is completely right. You are absolutely, completely, 100% accurate.
I don't think
that's
it's
America in a nutshell.
I don't.
Doesn't mean I don't love you.
I don't, no. This sick mind can't comprehend it. Yeah, he's too stupid to understand. Well, again, it's not about this, let me see if I can find, oh God. This guy seems like a real idiot. And I wish I were as confident with Bill that we'll choose JD over this. I mean, again, I think that what will happen is that all of this talk of like, oh, let's pick another, let's vote for a Democrat person. The moment that a Democrat person starts talking about how many genders there are, the moment they start talking about like, any other of their weird DEI stuff, I think that a lot of that is probably going to go away really fast. And obviously it would be. To be honest, I wouldn't vote for them because of immigration too. Well, yeah, but like, I mean, the difference is that immigration is a theoretical issue. Like, people might perceive, oh yeah, when I was growing up, there weren't as many, Mexicans here, or Asian people, or Indians here. But like, it's not something that you are, like, it's not a biological reality that every single individual person intrinsically understands, like with something like trans, for example. Like, I think that that's the difference, is that everybody knows what a man and a woman is. There are a lot of people who are insulated from, immigration. And that's the reason why that level of identity politics is so effective. It's because the barrier to entry to that is literally nothing. You don't need to be an expert to understand what a man and a woman is. Everybody gets this. We all understand this. So it's way different than having a 3-year-old trans. Yeah, and I think this is the big difference too, is that I think that these people are throwing the baby out with the bathwater, where they're saying,
right,
okay, well, you're going to have a trans 3-year-old. Okay, well, that's way too far, and a lot of people are just going to be anti-trans.
Let me see if I can find old Benjamin.
It's insane. So, I just want confidence again. Damn, I don't know. A 3-year-old trans, yeah, bro. Like, that's a CPS.
Which way is he heading from there? Come on, move, move. What are you lollygagging down there for?
Wanna like go against these people? I think that they are like. This is what I think is happening. I think that basically, like, why do we see this culture of like trans kids?
They get busted.
I think that
hanging out like that.
Of trans kids, because you have a lot of adults that see a social cachet of having a trans kid, and then they want to have that. They talk about it as it's always a positive thing. The kid hears only positive things about being trans, and then the kid, in order to get positive attention from the parents, says that they're trans in order for the parent to, treat them better or to be nice to them, right? I think that's generally what happens, and I think it's also for attention. I think that's the reason why it's happening with more celebrity parents, is that, like, parents are, and by the way, this is, like, overwhelmingly, I think, moms doing it to kids than dads. Like, you have people like this, but, like, I think it's like a 90-10 issue. Right?
There he is.
It's a 1 issue, where it's overwhelmingly women that are doing this. But it's not relevant, and anybody doing it should be in trouble. And so what happens, I think, with celebrity parents is that the, being trans, I think we're probably, like, it's a new social vector that now, like, now it makes you more interesting to your parent who is a famous celebrity, right? And I think that's kind of the reason why you see this happen so much. There's a proud trend of women trying to turn their boys gay. Well, yeah, of course they are. It's because, and again, like, all of this stuff, what is this stuff? It is fundamentally grooming. It is malicious, deliberate grooming of children. Like, we're not talking about, again, a 15-year-old. We're not talking about a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old. Like, 15, 16, 17, Like, you know, it's an open conversation. You know, at that point, you've got a better idea of what your sexuality is. You know, 16 in a lot of places is, you know, like an adult. I mean, again, like, I'm not saying that we should do that here, but I think that, like,
all right, well,
even if you think that, you know, 16 is still too young, you have to understand that.
About the rest of the day to kill. Where's my explosive weed?
Even 6 or 15, right?
Yeah,
like
buddy.
15,
Let's go
8,
blow some people up.
Are all on the spectrum of bad.
Wait, I thought I saw
but holy
the
shit,
one
is
chick.
83 a lot worse.
She's always
holy
down.
shit, that is way worse. Oh my god, right? And so anyway, under 25 is a kid.
Hey,
I think that, you know, as you get older,
wanna buy something?
you have opinions like that. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, what is this here? I can pull another one.
I know, but I know a Democratic Socialist is that Mandami, who's a straight up communist.
No,
I mean,
he's
okay.
not.
He has someone working.
Bill. Yeah.
He is, first of all. He has someone working for him named Sia Weaver.
Okay.
Have you read about her?
I have not.
See, that means you're in a bubble.
Okay.
Because
he's right. That bitch is crazy. Absolutely fucking nuts.
Sure.
Okay,
so
let
me say
I will.
She's like one of his top lieutenants. She's had his big issue was the rent's too high. She's the head of like we're gonna.
Well,
fix
the rent's too high because of white people. This is a very important component, right? It's not like the rent's just too high as a result of some sort of bullshit. It's because
Got my weed back.
This is
She
like
was
what
walking
got
around with a gallon of horse cum.
He is not disavowed.
That
it,
is
and I could
fucking
show you
weird.
all her tweets that she's put out over the last few years in quotes.
Yeah.
And one of them is elect more communists.
That's right.
I don't think you have to read between the lines if somebody he stands with and by is saying that. And also, her other quotes are like, all home ownership is racist.
There it is.
Well, that's
Even though,
ridiculous.
exactly.
So then why do you hire her? Why'd that happen?
Yes, I have an issue with that thing that she said. I don't know this woman. I will definitely look her up. I'm a fan of Mamdani's. I'm a fan of.
Of what? Of what? What is the thing that you like? Oh my God! I'll see if there's any more of these here. And oh, Charlie Kirk. Okay, one more.
The rank and file Republican.
Female cop by herself, huh?
Is a racist. Yeah. I think you can get them into positions that look racist, but I don't think in their bones they're like what the race is kind of what I grew up with. Like a racist was somebody who didn't want to shake a black person's hand.
Yes, I don't think that's a thing.
Well, then what do you think?
But I think there is. I mean, I know there is because they say as much. There's a feeling, a sense that. I mean, like Charlie Kirk.
So true. So yeah, you know what? Exactly, man.
So that women and black people and black women especially are just not. I'm not being an asshole, guys. I'm just saying they don't have the mental, you know.
There was a little more. I read that when he died.
They don't have the mental capacity to be taken seriously. But let me listen to an 8-year-old about what their gender is. Oh, jeez, guys. I think I see a problem here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, what? What the heck? What the? That doesn't make sense.
They, of course, lots of places put his greatest hits of worst hit.
Yeah.
And then somebody else printed something, and this is what always happens with the media, like I never trust it because you never get the whole story, where like each one was put in with the full context. It was never quite as bad as they said.
Like context is everything, right?
It is. I'm just saying it was easy to pull from his quote bed and find stuff that I certainly don't agree with, even in the context. But it wasn't quite what you were saying there.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly. No, exactly. And so dances around it. It's crazy. Does this guy say anything of? Oh my God. Okay, Jesus, this is so embarrassing for him.
He just said something It was almost like a
This is
Freudian
awful.
slip. Not Freudian slip, but I shouldn't say anything.
Yeah,
but
I know
don't
it.
have-
Jesus Christ. Does this guy have anything to say at all? This is embarrassing. It's like this next time, Bill, just bring a random retarded homeless person and put them on the show, and you're gonna have a more interesting. We agree with an 8-year-old about their gender.
Hey, dude.
Didn't you know you weren't gay?
You're gonna need this. Probably more sooner than later.
Like, the Trump administration are not people who care about.
I've been running around whacking people with a bat, so I killed a cop. Took his gun.
The thing is that the problem is that you should be able to say the quiet part out loud. Because when you're not able to, you're not able to tell the truth. That's the problem. It's like what I said earlier with gun violence. So if you want to reduce gun violence, you should increase the penalties for the people that commit crimes. Because overwhelmingly, the people that commit gun violence are people that have already committed crimes. But you don't want to do that.
Like, that's what makes MAGA fans go, finally,
Yeah,
somebody said
exactly.
it, somebody's got the balls.
People don't want to live in a state of cognitive dissonance. People don't want to be told, people don't want to live in the emperor's new clothes. They don't want to be told the sky is green. They don't want to be told that up is down, left is right, men are women, women are men. And you can choose. People do not want to have to go along with a constant bombardment of having to repeat slogans and phrases that they know are a lie. Everybody knows this is bullshit. We all know this. And so, yes, whenever people finally say, yeah, that's actually what's going on, everybody is thinking to themselves, thank God, finally somebody's saying it. Exactly.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not wrong. And some, I mean...
What has Trump been right on?
Well, I think he was right to attack Iran.
Oh, I highly disagree.
Yeah, I know. I figured you would.
Why?
Because I do think of you as like sort of that, like, down the line liberal, like down the line.
I mean, in some ways, I'm definitely. I'm politically more Democrat socialist. I believe.
You're socialist. Again, I think you're plainly then you're to the left of me if you even say you're a socialist.
What a fucking idiot. Oh my God. This guy, I had no idea how much of a fucking moron this guy is. I don't even, this is insane how embarrassing this is. It's like it's a walking stereotype. I know. It's so fucking pathetic. I can't even believe this. Wow.
Hurt people so much that some folks are willing to risk it all.
That's exactly right. And that's why you've got to be on top of them even more. Charlemagne's right. He is. Like, there are a lot of people that have lost a lot, and they're willing to be more violent and aggressive. That's why we need to have more FBI agents, more control, more of these weirdos that are like making these threats online,
already saved? All right.
These violent mobs, etc.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we have to be even
All right,
more
I'm gonna
aggressive.
log out because I'm going out with my niece.
Now you're justifying it.
I'm not justifying it. It's just a reality.
But now you're justifying it.
It's just a reality that you have to deal with.
I will see you guys later on.
You feel like I'm justifying
Well,
it?
probably tomorrow.
You can extrapolate out.
I don't know if I'll be
was there
streaming
some,
later or not.
Not justified. Was like